Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome back. Oh my goodness, we got a spicy one today. You guys may or may not have seen that Dave Smith had Candace Owens on the Part of the Problem podcast, and they were getting into it. Not so much with each other, but the two of them have had very interesting and unique perspectives on all of this. I'll be honest, I haven't done like a super deep dive with what Candace has said, but I've seen a number of clips, and she does kind of seem a little bit out there. So, of course, you guys know I skipped through a little bit, so I know that we got something good. But I'm hoping that Dave gets either a little bit of pushback or a little bit of context that shows, okay, this is why Candace sounds crazy, but actually, she is all good. Shout out to Manders Be Weird in the building. Welcome to the party. Let's get that chat up there, and let's dive right in. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Part of the Problem. Ooh, do we have a good one for you today. Very quickly, before we get the show started, I do want to remind everyone, well, thank you so much, I should say, to everybody who's already pre-ordered my amazing wife's wonderful new children's book.
You got children, go for the book. But yeah, that's where did we go more? Oh, that is kind of the thing that I'm not there yet. I'm not understanding enough of what she actually thinks to say, oh, that's crazy, or clearly they're trying to make her seem crazy. We got section 230. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. Let's fucking party.
I should say to everybody who's already pre-ordered my amazing wife's wonderful new children's book, which was up at the top of the new releases for children's books on the Amazon charts. Healthy Hibernation, my beautiful.
We also got Unapologetic Preacher. Welcome. Very good to see you. How are you doing tonight?
Wife Lauren Smith just wrote it. It's her first children's book. It's very sweet, and it's all about just talking to kids about eating healthy and stuff like that. So it's not any of the controversial things that we're about to talk about today. Ooh. But I will say I saw this morning, and this really tickled me. But because I've promoted it on this show, now when you go on Amazon, it's like if you click on my wife's adorable children's book, Amazon does the thing where it goes, people who pre-ordered this book also read, and all of the books are like the Israel lobby up in by way of deception. It's just anyway. Okay.
Now that is culture jamming.
Okay, that was funny to me. Moving on from talking about one mother to another one, my good friend Candace Owens, who has been just on fire in a way that is hard, almost impossible to overstate over the last, really, look, you've been a huge force in conservative media for many years now. Over the last couple years after, leaving, parting ways with the Daily Wire, you got even bigger. But now just over this.
We got the debate going. Should we be on the vertical stream or the horizontal stream, whichever one you like better? There are both. Thank you. Hey, we got Liberty Plus TV. Very good to see ya. Yeah, we got them both. And on X, I have it vertical because I figure if you're on X, that you're probably already on your phone. So trying to make it work for you guys. Glad you like it.
Last stretch, you've really become the mover of the narrative, at least on the conservative side of the aisle. And I really, I've talked to Tucker this week, and I really wanted to talk to you also about this massive kind of cancellation attempt.
Come on, where's my pause button? Eighth sister, welcome, eighth sister, welcome. Vertical horizon, please. Should I do it sideways? Whichever way you like. I cannot talk today. Welcome to the party. I was sleeping about 52 minutes ago, so it might take me a minute to wake up here.
So, Candace Owens, thank you so much for coming on the show. Great to see you.
I'm so excited to do it. One day we're going to have to do it in person, but on your show. But yeah. I'm excited to be back.
Well, next time we're in the same city, we'll make sure that happens. Whoever show it's on, maybe we'll do it on your show, seeing how big that show is these days. I should probably be focused on that one. It has been there's been something that I've been thinking a lot about this because obviously there's been this big cancellation attempt primarily against you and Tucker Although by proxy, I guess I've been caught up in it a bit. Obviously, both you and Tucker, well, Tucker was fired from Fox News. You were fired from the Daily Wire. Both went on to be much bigger after getting canned.
Unlike the people on the left who got canned, like Don Lemon, who just exploded. It says, where is the like button up here? If you are watching on the vertical stream, you can double tap the stream to like, or the 3 little dots in the top of the corner. Thank you for asking, and thank you for hitting that like button. You guys know it is free, it is easy, and it helps out so very, very much.
And yet now there's this attempt again to cancel you, and we're all kind of wondering, like, from what? Like, what would you even cancel them from? And I just thought, I was very close friends with Joe Rogan when he was going through that major cancellation attempt in the 22 in the height of COVID insanity. I was the first one on his podcast after all that stuff really went down, and I was out doing shows with him. And I remember at the time having this feeling where all of them kind of hadn't admitted it yet. The corporate media hadn't admitted that Joe Rogan is the biggest thing in media. They did eventually after the 2024, but at the time it was like so weird. You're like, wait, Brian Stelter is trying to cancel Joe Rogan? Doesn't he know? And so anyway, as Mark Levin is...
It doesn't work that way. You have to have the power, and CNN lost it.
Openly calling for you and Tucker's cancellation, and Dinesh D'Souza, people like this are openly calling. It is just funny because you're like, objectively right now, you and Tucker are the two biggest conservative political commentators. This is just undeniable. And so their plan right now is we want to cancel number 1 and number 2. This is just like, how do you even get away with doing that when the people have already told you they're on their side, not yours? Right. What's it been like for you?
They're used to having that power where even as recently as like the bigger platforms when you could just be canceled for any little thing. Ever since, I mean, I don't love X as much as I used to, but I do prefer the censorious aspect of it. And yeah, they just don't own that world anymore.
You to just kind of watch this.
So again, that's what I'm looking. The main thing I am looking for from Candace is are you just talking about Charlie because it is popular, or are you really honing in on something that you think, even if you are wrong? If you genuinely believe I need to search this, then it's a different thing. If you're just grifting, then that's fucked up. No. I don't know whether she is she's like really onto something, or again if she genuinely thinks she's onto something and she's out in wackadoo land. But hopefully Dave will help us figure it out.
Yesterday was a fantastic day. I mean, to get the email from Podscribe, #1 podcast in the world, and I don't. Of course, I am humbled by it, truly, because the audience is the reason. Like, this truly was a free market response. And to go back and find the people who worked day in and day out.
Shout out to Marilyn. Welcome. Very good to see ya. Very good to see ya.
Response, and to go back and find the people who worked day in and day out to ruin my life. It wasn't like they just wanted me gone from the Daily Wire, which they got and they celebrated and effectively danced on my grave. It wasn't, they then were trying to get my speaking events canceled. They were the ones that put pressure on Charlie not to let me speak. And I said to him, dude, I got enough going on. Like, I don't want you to also just by proxy catch a flame because they want to cancel me. They got me banned from Australia. I had to cancel a tour, right? Simply because I didn't agree with Israel. That you would think that I harmed somebody by having a different opinion.
I agree. A problematic preacher. So it makes me think she's batty. Is she honed in on Israel and ignored literally everything else? It's like she has tunnel vision. And again, I have not seen her full episodes, but it does seem like that. It seems like I've seen a lot of situations where she's like, well, doesn't it just feel a little bit different? And then kind of leaves it there as if she has given you an answer when she's really just asked you a question. But again, that doesn't mean that she's lying, and that doesn't even mean that she's wrong. But, what's going on up here is an enigma. Like I said, I don't need people to think for me, so I don't care. I'll take in any crazy opinion out there. That's a great opinion. Great opinion. Guys, if you could, please remember to hit that like button on your way in.
Israel, that you would think that I harmed somebody by having a different opinion. And I think the reason why yesterday was such a win was precisely because they worked so hard and tried to destroy me, and we survived. That's where their true hatred and vitriol is coming from, is the fact that we survived a virtual assassination attempt, right? It's like we shouldn't have survived it, but given everything they did, and even the element of how they wanted me to be fired, like the element of surprise for Tucker to be fired. He's doing a show on a Tuesday, suddenly on a Wednesday, he doesn't get to say goodbye to his audiences. I really do believe
on a Tuesday.
And that was a part of their like sadistic effort to be like, you are no more. And so,
damn it, sister, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, it feels good. And I'm really happy to say all I did was commit to the truth, and I didn't allow peer pressure to come to something that's actually evil. Like, we're not even, it's like, do you agree that Palestinians should be genocided? No. Okay, well then you're going to be canceled. You're never going to be on a Republican stage ever again. Okay, bye. I'll just do my own show. Okay.
That is the splinter in the conservatives right now. Shout out to My Big Toe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Said, I mean, she went into the Israel stuff regarding Charlie because Netanyahu went live and said Israel didn't kill him before anyone made any claims about anything. And so that's, again, the question is she really onto something? Does she think she's onto something that she's not onto? Or is she straight up grifting? Again, I will... If I think that it's going in the direction of, oh, she just knows this is going to get clicks, she's just grifting. If that is the way that I'm going, I will withhold actually putting my flag on that position until it is for sure. Because I don't necessarily think outside of this or before this, I don't think Candace would do that. I do think that she would get obsessed about something that maybe she's not so right about and be confident enough to make a whole series about it. But that is the question. Welcome to the party.
Going to be on a Republican stage ever again. Okay, bye. I'll just do my own show. Okay, you're not going to be allowed to speak at the CPAC or the RNC. You're not going to get an invite to the White House. Okay, bye. I'd like to keep my morals and my principles in line. If I never get to go to Mar-a-Lago again, at least I can lay my head in the pillow and know that I'm not cheering for children to die, irrespective of whether they're Palestinian or Israeli. I'm not going to root on children dying. And so I think also something that's important to remember, Dave, is these people do not believe in the free markets. That's the number one thing to remember. They want people to be artificially pushed out of the free markets so that they can say they're number one. They love a world where, like what happened back, what was it, in 2020, when people were getting knocked off of platforms left and right. Maybe it was earlier than that, actually. It was before Trump was president. They love that world where you're artificially kicking out the Gateway pundit. You're not allowed to be on Facebook anymore. You're artificially kicking out Alex Jones. You're not allowed to platform. And then they go, we're number one. We are the number one most listened to conservative news podcaster. It's like, no, you're not. There's no market here. And that's what they want right now.
They'll be like, the number one, that's approved by A, B, C, D, and E, which is CNN. Free markets. Really quick, how does my mic sound compared to when I was on the panel the other night? Not last night, 2 nights ago, after Angry's thing. Because I think I don't think there's an issue with the microphone. I think there's just an issue with everybody else's microphone, and whoever has the best microphone on the panel, like, just overdoes it with everybody. And from what I heard, Trash Bag's microphone was worse. But anyway, how does it sound?
They want their markets to be restricted so that they can be number one again.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's right. And because in a way, if they make, look, if the punishment, let's say, like, for whatever, like, it was in the old guard where, like, if you canceled someone, that was it. There wasn't like another, they couldn't just go start their own podcast or something. Like when Bill O'Reilly got fired from Fox News, I mean, I guess he did go start a podcast, but even back then it was like, it just wasn't as big of a market. And also his audience was a lot older. They weren't getting into like the technology. So he goes from being a guy who's speaking to like 5 million people a night to being a guy who's speaking to like 80,000 people when he does.
Well, I definitely need a new mouse. Let me ask again in like half an hour when I've woken up a little bit. Like I said, I was asleep like an hour ago, so maybe I should have held off on that question. The other question is it that much different if I'm talking here versus talking directly into it? Because that also can be, if I can point it that way a little bit. Because I don't want to be like, covering my face, but if the angle matters, then I can hold it there. And, again, I noticed that the vertical chats are not coming through on the chat here, so StreamYard fix that. Did anybody see Bill O'Reilly on Piers Morgan? He's the most out-of-touch boomer Republican. I saw that he was on it, but I didn't care enough to click on it. But, all right, I'm back in.
Who's speaking to like 5 million people a night to being a guy who's speaking to like 80,000 people when he does a show. And that's like, that sucks. And, you could see where the pressure would be like, hey, look, are you sure you want to say this one thing that'll piss everybody off? Because then you lose the right to say all the other things that you also might think are important. And you make people make these calculations in their mind. But you going to number one, it's like, oh, no. Not only is there not a price to be paid, there's a reward in the market for people going like, oh yeah, she stood up for what was right. And as you talk, like when you get down to the specifics of it, what you're talking about is like, I mean, I don't know, me and you've been reading the news for 2 years on this. You're talking about what? Children being shot at as they desperately try to get food because they've been starving for I'm sorry, the American right wing is still made up of a lot of Christians and a lot of people who are just like, what? No.
Hey, shout out to Manders Be Weird starting us off on that Swogo with the big $10. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. My goodness, of course that makes you the new sponsor of the stream, guys. We do have the Morty Memorial Fund and the stream goal. The YouTube goal thing isn't working, but you guys know 15 super chats of any donation or a $50 total gets Morty a special treat, and I've got to do a push-up for every $2, so already up to 5 push-ups. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much.
Wing is still made up of a lot of Christians and a lot of people who are just like, what?
Hey, that's $300. We got over $300 in the Morty Fund. Thank you again. Again, he is totally fine now, but we did recently have a conversation with the vet, and he won't be around forever. So very, very, very much appreciated.
But no, they're decent people. They're not going to go along with this. And the thing is, like, they kind of never got presented the opportunity to hear from people who were going to make that argument. And you've been a part of this huge, like, test study of like, well, how would it work if there was actually a market? And yes, I think it's incredibly rewarding for me to see you being the #1 podcast, because it shows that, like, yeah, you demonstrated that people could have the courage to say the right thing. And then the audience demonstrated that, like, yeah, and there's a lot of people who will have your back if you do that. I just think that's a great precedent to be.
And even in the same way that I'm just saying, like, I don't know if she's correct, or I don't know if she's off base, or I don't know if she's gone wacky, but because of the fact that she has a reputation of being somebody who is honest and talks genuinely, then I'm willing to give her that grace, even if she is wrong. Shout out to Angry Amputee. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Just demolished in his first debate the other night. Very well done, son.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who will have your back if you do that. I just think that's a great precedent to be set.
It is. And I'm so grateful, because I want to remind people, you might think of me now as anti-Israel, but when they came after my entire life, I just wanted to learn about the topic. I actually didn't have a perspective, but I knew that I didn't know everything. And they were
same thing. If you guys remember, right after October 7th, like, obviously, you know, you can't, I'm a political streamer. I'm not a news guy, but I couldn't not talk about it. And because I didn't have enough information, then I decided to bring on some people who knew more about the conflict than I did. It just so happens that those people, well, I won't even say that, because at the time, it seemed like, oh no, poor Israel got attacked. Now they have to respond. And so at that time, the framing was very much about, well, Hamas is clearly a terrorist group, blah, 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 and Israel is our ally. And it was really only the Groypers and stuff saying that we shouldn't be supporting them. And then I don't talk to those people that were on that panel anymore, but I would love to know if they still back Israel after all this shit. But yeah, I didn't know. And the default was, well, Israel good, Palestine bad.
topic. I actually didn't have a perspective, but I knew that I didn't know everything. And they were just so vicious with, no, you have to come out and you have to say these things. And I was like, look, I don't know anything about this. Let me speak to other people. Like, I watched Bassem go viral, the clip go viral where he was holding up the chart. And I was going, whoa, that is kind of crazy. Like, are this many Gazans dying? Then I went back and I watched some old content of you on Joe Rogan speaking about the topic. Then I hosted you at the Daily Wire. And that was a big wake up call. And I really was coming from a place, it's still one of my favorite episodes. I think they pulled all the content down, but just learning about Middle Eastern politics. I'm not presenting myself as an expert. And I think that is what also the market is responding to, is at least I want to learn. At least I am showing that I will correct where I was wrong. I was working for PragerU, Daily Wire. I was working with Zionists. I obviously had no hatred in my heart towards the Zionist cause. And
yeah, that's because they've always been anti-Semitic. I thought you were a TV on the radio guy. Bread and circuses, no? I have no idea what that means. Shout out to the Madman. Welcome to the party. Did you hear Effrey Jepstein was a bad dude? I did indeed. I have heard that. I've also heard that the files don't exist, but We will never know. We will never know. Welcome to the party.
I obviously had no hatred in my heart towards the Zionist cause. And then it was just asking the question. Like I was messaging with Max Blumenthal because, strange allies, right? And he has done some really incredible work. And I went back and I found these messages from a time where I simply retweeted Max Blumenthal on something that he said about Kyrie Irving that I agreed on. So it wasn't even about Israel. And I got messages, like all I can tell you is like Agent Smith. I sent it to him. It's crazy. Like Marissa Straight, Dave Rubin. And I actually apologized to them because I was like, wow, this guy must literally be Hitler. Like I didn't know. I just saw it trending and I retweet him. That's what kind of goes on behind the scenes. Like they are actually presenting themselves as free speech thinkers. And then they put pressure on people and tell them, hey, even listening or retweeting Max Blumenthal, you may not know it. And they told me,
like the woke do. Shout out to Equality and Deference because vagina. Over on Rumble, welcome to the party. Said, liked, and shared. Again, guys, that stuff helps out so very, very much. It's free and it's easy for you, and it really does make a difference. It doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you shared. Just by you telling the platform you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Welcome. Calling Candace Gossip Girl. All right, so we're a little bit split. We're a little bit split on is Candace kooky or not? We finna figure it out tonight.
Yes, he's an anti-Semite. Like he's a committed anti-Semite. Max Blumenthal. It's a different time now, and that sort of we're gonna tell you what to think and you're going to like it is not like people aren't buying it anymore.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I think one of there's a lot that's just been revealed, and there was a lot of things about even the conservatism Inc. online type people like Dave Rubin and Ben Shapiro and even Steven Crowder and a lot of guys like this who really rose to prominence during the craziest woke years. They were kind of the figures who were speaking up against the insanity, being like, no, actually you're a dude.
Come on. Maybe that is an aspect of why the woke right is it's hard for them to see that they are embodying the same thing, because they see the woke left as bad positions, not bad ways of thinking that lead you at bad positions. And so the split in the conservative movement or whatever is following Trump or following what Trump promised. And unfortunately, those are not the same things. Quality said, conservative criticizes Obama. Literally anyone criticizes Israel. Identity politics is alive and well. Woke is woke, baby, left or right. The Mehmet said the left are going to break soon if they don't get a fake win soon. I mean, they did just have a good election day this month. So I got a new liberal governor, and I am not happy about it. Yeah, again, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why the chats on the vertical one don't show up on the screen, but I do see them. So I am giving a little bit of preference to those that I pull up that are from the other chat, just because they're not on the screen. But they working on it. And speaking of which, we got Quanzek. Welcome to the party. Said, liked, and shared again. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, those likes, they really do help. And again, it doesn't even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link that you shared. It just matters that you hit that share button. Thank you. New Jersey does, in fact, suck too much. And we could have had a dude almost straight out of Sopranos. But it didn't happen. Because nobody votes on the off years. Go vote on the off years. All right, diving back in.
One of the figures who were speaking up against the insanity, being like, no, actually you're a dude in a dress, you're not a chick. And that was necessary to some degree. It was
fair.
pretty.
Come on, fair. That is that is par for the course. But they're saying if they don't get a win soon, or you're saying if they don't get a fake win, meaning they have to do something amazing that couldn't possibly happen in real life. If that's what you're saying. I don't know.
Dude in a dress, you're not a chick. And that was necessary to some degree. It was pretty crazy what was going on in college campuses, right. And the whole left-wing wokeism stuff in general was crazy. But because that was the dynamic, and because for whatever reason, while tons of other right-wingers were being deplatformed, those were the ones who weren't, and in fact were very pushed by the YouTube algorithm and stuff. I mean, I remember for years, I always hated Ben Shapiro, and for years YouTube was like, I know you want to watch Ben Shapiro, and I was like, I do not. I've never told you that, YouTube, but YouTube kept insisting I did. I was aware.
You do. Yeah, you do.
Well, I was aware of this because I've been
See, now if they were on TikTok, then maybe that algorithm is strong enough to be like, no, trust me, you want to watch this, but not on YouTube.
talking about lately because I was a Ron Paul supporter back in the day, and I remember Ben Shapiro saying like that Ron Paul wants to strangle Jews and that he's a vicious anti-Semite, and I'd be like, whoa, like, and you realize you're like, oh, it was easy in those years for them to pretend like that wasn't actually all they cared about. But actually, that's all they care about. And I mean all they care about. And this has been revealed. This is the thing with the neocons. This is why.
And just like with the woke left, their singular focus is Donald Trump. The woke, a lot of the woke right, the singular focus is Jews. And so it doesn't matter. It's not about, do you agree that the relationship that the U.S. has with Israel is too much? It's not about, do you agree that Bibi Netanyahu is bad? It's not about any of that. It's the same, do you pass the litmus test? Are you one of us? One of us. Wokeness, baby. Wokeness is alive.
They care about, and I mean all they care about, and this has been revealed. This is the thing with the neocons. This is why even the original core neocon group, they were all a bunch of commies who then became Democrats, who then became Republicans, and then became Democrats again. And why they when they were George W. Bush Republicans, they were like, marriage is between a man and a woman, and our culture is getting out of control, because they just thought that was the best way to get votes for their wars. And then when Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, they went, okay, she likes the wars, we'll go support Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Marriage,
That's exactly
gay marriage,
right.
anyone who's against gay marriage is a homophobe or whatever. Like, but they don't actually. And so, look, just think about it, right? Why would someone like Ben Shapiro, at the very least, wouldn't he have liked a lot of things about Ron Paul?
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. Shout out to Arrow. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So the high road is hard to find. For some, it definitely is. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party.
Someone like Ben Shapiro, at the very least, wouldn't he have liked a lot of things about Ron Paul? Oh, he's the most fiscal conservative guy. He's the strict constitutionalist. He's a devout Christian who, believes in traditional values. There's a million different things that you would go, oh, I like a lot of his thing. I do.
Yeah, the things that you would say, despite a disagreement, I actually do care more about these values.
Disagree with him on foreign policy. Nope. He's evil. As soon as you're not on board with Israel and Israel's wars, you're evil. And I think,
like the woke do.
Part of what happened here is that you, just by doing what you did, it demonstrated that not only, it's not like it went from like, Candace is great, she's been heroic on all these issues, we really disagree with her on this one. It went, all of that's gone. In one day, you go from being like our favorite person who we champion, who we put billboards up on, to you are the most vicious, evil human being in the world, for saying, I just had some babies and I'm seeing this mom holding her dead babies, and I'm thinking to myself like, oh my God, what would it be like to hold your dead baby? Jeez, that's horrible. Like, that's enough to make, and just
how dare you?
Unbelievable. But shout out to Arrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much for the $2. Of course, a treat for Morty, adding again to the Morty Fund. And of course, that swole stream. Let's get Morty that special treat. And look how puny I am, guys. You guys got to help me up. Every $2 is another push-up. That one's right there. Thank you, thank you, thank you very, very much.
Like to hold your dead baby. Jeez, that's horrible. Like, that's enough to make, and just people seeing that, like, can't pretend they're not seeing what they're watching.
It's so true. That is how gentle it was. I had seen it was a dead Palestinian child, and she looked like my daughter. And I was going, well, this is crazy. Like, this is not just a black and white issue. I need to actually learn about this issue.
Yeah, I've done a pretty decent job of not avoiding all of that carnage, because I think it is important to understand, what is happening and what's going on. But like, okay, once you see a couple videos of like, oh, it's that bad, then you can kind of figure out the rest of it based on what people are talking about, and it does something to your brain when you see that much violence, especially for children. Crazy. Thank you again, Arrow. Let's dive back in.
And as soon as you express a feeling, I describe it very much. It is a psychological operation that is meant to break you. And there's no question in my mind that they have done experiments to see. I mean, this is really going back to what Kanye was saying, and he's not the greatest orator of our time, but this is what he was describing was happening to him in Hollywood, where he was this is what he was trying to break free from. And of course, he notoriously says, I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews. And they made it seem like he had tanks and he was going to come in and he was going to start just lighting up Jews in Los Angeles.
So I was just saying to my girlfriend that you guys are all awesome and how most YouTube talk about their community, but they just mean viewers. Props to Lutch, that's me, for building a real community. Props to you guys for being a real community. That's why I always laugh when I get people who are like, stop pausing it. It's like, I'm here to talk to you guys. I'm not here to just play a video. Like, yeah, this is the jumping off point. This is what we care about. But we are talking about this. That's the point. If you want to just watch this, why am I so out of focus? If you just want to focus, I do want you to just focus, camera, please. If you just want to watch the podcast, it's always linked in the description, guys. Do your thing. Do your thing. Hey, thank you so very, very much. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
But in reality, everyone ignored the fact that Harley Pasternak was, and this was one of the people he was referring to. He was also referring to at that time Scooter Braun. Justin Bieber has now kind of said things about Scooter Braun. Who knows what's true and what's not? I mean, I've had friendly conversations with Scooter, so I don't have a horse in the race. But the point is he was trying to say that there is this psychological operation that sweeps in if you do not actually peddle certain talking points or certain perspectives, particularly in Hollywood. I didn't understand what he was saying at that time. Then I went through it politically and I was going, what is actually happening? I mean, the peer pressure, you're going to do this or you're going to lose everything. We saw that even in Charlie Kirk's text messages. There is not a single person that bent over more for the pro-Israel cause than Charlie Kirk, but it wasn't enough because they were so angry.
Here we go. Let's see. Is she crazy or is she correct?
Angry, Dave, particularly Josh Hammer was angry, Dave, that you annihilated him in a debate on stage. And how did you annihilate him? I don't know, just by being a human being. I don't know, and Tucker Carlson gets out there and Charlie was going through it, okay? And that shows you they do not care. Everything instantly gets wiped. And for me, the attack they always do is they kind of try to make it seem like you're going crazy. That's the wildest part to me is reading back the messages and they're like, oh, we're your friend. They always come at you as a friend.
Are you though? That's how they come at you. But if somebody has to tell you that they're your friend, that's a little sus. Shout out to King Nirvana. Welcome to the party. Said Dave Smith sucks. I would say if I was a fool. Indeed. I was just thinking about that How I Met Your Mother scene when they go to get married. I won't spoil it in case they go to get married. It's like, can we skip the line? Oh, of course you can. And they're like, yeah, is what I'd say if you could, but you can't. Welcome to the party. Yeah, I definitely didn't know that he was this political guy when I first found out about him. I think I probably found out about Dave through Rogan, but that tells you how much within maybe the last, I don't know, give or take 10 years, that the focus of a Joe Rogan Dave Smith conversation was going to be comedy. Maybe they touch on politics. But that's not what it was about. And here we are. Hey, someone I definitely know is not a friend. Never could be. Welcome to the party. The captain of the Moral Felon Crew. Very good to see you, brother. Welcome.
The messages and they're like, oh, we're your friend. They always come at you as a friend. Like, I care about you. Like, are you okay, Dave? I saw you wrote that tweet about that Palestinian child and you said it looks sad. Like, are you okay? Like, is your marriage okay right now, Dave? Like, are there some things going on at home, Dave? Like, I'm your friend. Like, you can always call me. This is their strategy behind the scenes.
Always using your name too much. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Lutch. And anything you want, Lutch. Well, that's not how people talk.
And it's also their strategy in front of the scenes. I think Seth Dillon is a literal demon. I will never, I can't explain to you. There's something very dangerous, psychologically wrong.
That's the Babylon Bee guy. With
him. This is how they behave. And it's important for people to see that. I'm obviously at the time it wasn't fun to go through it, but I am ever resilient on topics.
It's like Pluribus. Let's make you happy. Hey, Exactly. If you guys have not checked out Pluribus, it is a critique of communism. It is a critique of communism. Go watch it. It's amazing.
When it comes to principles, and I would rather burn everything to the ground and make new friends. When I realize that I am in a toxic relationship, whether that's an employment, whether it's a personal friendship, it has to go. And people now know that it can be done. You can survive it, and people will be with you.
Shout out to Monkey King of Zealandia. Said Candace went from smart to idiot in 3 years. Must be the boosters. Well, she was definitely against the COVID stuff, if that's what you're talking about. But again, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna need your guys' help. Point out the BS. Point out the BS. Because a lot of people are saying Dave is full of it too. And you know, as much as I like him, I always want to be on point. If I like you and then you are saying some bullshit, then I'm gonna stop listening to you. Doesn't mean I don't like you anymore, but I'm just not gonna listen.
Even if it's not immediately, they'll start to wake up and see that repeated pattern that you always talk about, where someone says something completely normal and then it's like a button gets pressed.
I mean, well, there's 3 episodes. Like, it's just airing, so it's just 3 episodes now. But I mean, I'm telling you, man, it is worth it. It is worth it. There's enough in each episode throughout the week that we have plenty to talk about. And I've been watching them on Rumble. So what you can do is binge the first 3 episodes from my Rumble page, and then every week I'm just gonna do that again. So come on through.
About where someone says something completely normal and then it's like a button gets pressed.
Yeah, and just all of that, you know, like as when I was saying back to say 2017 or 2018 or something like that, the energy that Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson were able to kind of take hold of was that they were the ones saying, like, you guys are afraid to debate. You guys need to rely on censorship. You have to rely on demonizing your opponent rather than just addressing their ideas.
When's the last time you saw Ben Shapiro in a debate? Me neither.
And now they just can never say that again because we saw what happened as soon as their ideas got questioned, and then they all turned into the exact same thing. And that's just, you know, the hypocrisy like that is very hard these days in this media environment, in this spiritual environment, whatever exactly it is.
I didn't make you do shit, all right? I didn't make you do shit.
It's just very hard for people to keep their own lies from being exposed.
Right.
So I wanted to, obviously, I want to talk a bunch about Charlie.
Yeah, someone who is not part of the Daily Wire already. Guys, we've got 13 people here and only 6 likes. Please do me a favor and double tap that screen or hit the like button. It's so easy and it's free and it really does help. Thank you.
And because you've been doing a lot of shows on this. And so it seems to me, and a lot of shows that, I mean, shows that have been some of the most highest rated shows, part of the reason why you have the biggest podcast right now. I mean, I remember I was talking about this on the show a few weeks ago, but I was watching one of your shows, but I was like, I had it on my phone, and then I was kind of like wrangling kids also while I was doing it. So I'm watching the show, and it's live. And
how many of you are actually looking at the screen right now? Shout out to Behave. Welcome to the party. Said Candace is very convincing, but at the end of the day, she wants ratings and to never be a normal person again. She's off, but has the it factor. That's why it's tough, man. That is why it's tough. Welcome to the party. They're blocking super chats again. God damn it. Either way, Death Poet, I appreciate it. Welcome to the party. Yeah, we got a good little range of people and opinions on what we think of Candace. So, didn't Ben Shapiro just drop out of a debate? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, but I would not be surprised. Candace said her family are still on government assistance. That tells me all I need to know about her. Really? Do we know that for sure? Or is that just like kind of out there? That's a little shady. Yeah, Death Poet said she can kiss my shiny white ass. Andrew said I believe her crazy. I think the implication is that Candace has enough money to supplement her family so that they shouldn't be, living on government assistance. But I do think you're right here, that it's not necessarily fair. We need some more details. If it's because, like, yeah, right? Like her parents, or like, And well, I mean, why would she? Because she is preaching that we shouldn't be extracting from the government. And so if that's your family, as a Christian, you're supposed to take care of your family. He's like, fuck them, get a job. But sure. But what is that? Where does that leave us with Candace? That she doesn't. Does she get any? Okay, we're gonna make that a poll. So right now, the poll is Candace is mostly either correct or out of her mind. 69% of you said she's mostly correct. Let's see how you guys feel about this stuff.
There was like kids also while I was doing it. So I'm watching the show and it's live, and there was like over 300,000 viewers live. And then I paused it because I had to go do something with the kids. And then I came back, and like when I came back, the show wasn't live anymore. But it was still like I had it paused where I was in the stream. And I looked down, and it was only 15 minutes after the show had been live, and it was over 1 million views already on just on YouTube on it. I was just like, yo, there's so many people watching this right now. It's really unbelievable. And there's been something very interesting about the way you've been covering this. Well, I mean, look, it's a little uncomfortable to say, but like part of what's interesting and part of what's compelling about it is that you're Candace Owens, you're this pit bull who's got a hold of something, and everybody knows you're not letting go until you shake out everything that there is in there. Then you're also like a woman who's in deep grief, very clearly, over losing like a very close friend.
So we do have the poll up. Is it a bad reflection on Candace if her extended family is on government assistance? And then I'm going to ask later about her immediate family. Yep, shout out to Angry Amputee again. Did an amazing job in that debate. Manner said, why should she take care of them? And again, I would argue that she specifically should be more akin to providing for her family in the vein of Christianity, as well as conserving the money that is coming out of the taxpayer's pocket. So I don't think I'm not saying it's her responsibility, but I think if she has just chosen to say, okay, the rest of my family is not doing well, and I figure it out. That's one thing. Versus if they're like, oh, screw you, Candace, we don't even want your money, and she tried to help. That's a very different situation. So I don't know. Angry said, I want to know the family member before I judge. Could be a third cousin twice removed. That's what I said. We need something official here. We can always speculate, but yeah. Maybe they're that's very possible. Liberty said, my family branch has been basically disowned. That side of the family ain't getting shit from me. And that's how it works, right? We don't really know family dynamics, especially when we talk about extended family. Like it's a lot stronger than or a lot bigger, more complex. And I think we're giving it credit for. Section 230 said, I don't think it's up to her to fund their life, but she can help them get off government assistance. That's where I was thinking. That, like, okay, if there was anybody within, my immediate family or my mom's siblings or my dad's siblings or their kids. Anyone there, because I'm 36, so we're not really at grandkid status yet. I mean, there's a few, but and even then, I would help a starving baby, unlike a lot of these churches. But yeah, I guess it's not really her responsibility. They probably want her money. They probably don't, but they probably want it out of greed. That's another thing, is that maybe they're like, well, it is your responsibility, Candace. You have all this money. Very possible. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. Welcome to the party. Very, very good to see you. Stirring up trouble. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's dive back in. Equality said no on the poll. Is it a bad reflection on Candace if her extended family is on government assistance? Equality said no because of individual responsibility, but I get the contrary position. I think that's the fairest way to put it. All right, welcome to the party, guys. Let's dive back in.
Also, like a woman who's in deep grief, very clearly, over losing like a very close friend. And so it's just like it's very real, and people can relate to it.
We stingy with them likes tonight.
It seems to me, and I kind of want to talk to you almost about like what you think the biggest things are that you've revealed so far, like where we are now if we try to put this all together. But it seems to me the things that I the takeaway that I find the most interesting so far is that, and correct me if I'm getting any of the chronology of this wrong, but I think I got it pretty much right. So you basically come out in the wake of the biggest political assassination in modern American history, and a good friend of yours, and you go, look, here's the deal. Charlie was really at war with the Israel lobby and with all of the Zionist handlers around him. They were threatening him. They were pulling funds from him. He had basically gotten to the point where he was like, I don't support any of this anymore. And immediately.
Real quick, guys, I very, very much appreciate when you guys are jumping in to give more likes, but just to let you know, you do what you want to do, but just to let you know, a like from you watching the video is going to help this much. But somebody clicking onto the stream and hitting like button and clicking right off is going to hurt about this much. So just keep that in mind. Do whatever you want to do. I appreciate the likes, but just some little behind the scenes algo information. But thank you very, very much. Always coming through, right? Always coming through.
Had basically gotten to the point where he was like, I don't support any of this anymore. And immediately that was met with accusations of she is out of her mind. She's lying. This is
yeah, if you can keep the tab open, then let's fucking go.
I believe Josh Hammer called it an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. There was all types of that. Of course, Benjamin Netanyahu is selectively reading lines from Charlie's letter. Now, he doesn't. By the way, he doesn't mention that the rest of the letter, at least the rest of the letter that we've seen produced, is like the whole theme of it is like, this Hasbro bullshit is not working at all. We need to deal with I'm getting killed out here is the whole letter. He omits that and just reads the part where it's like, I sure do love Israel so much, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, all of them are saying the idea that.
So that's where I would hope that Dave, like, throw it to Candace, give her the opportunity to give us the TLDR about the text messages before we move on. Shout out to Manders Flavor Tracks, second channel. Thank you very, very much.
There was a Jewish donors were pulling money, or that he was in some war. Now, the thing that always at the very beginning made it very believable that you were saying this is that, well, number one, you're good friends with him. And number two, we all saw that Megyn Kelly interview. So, like, we all kind of know what's going on a little bit.
He was hosting you on stage. I mean, if you're like so committed to the pro-Israel cause, you stay away from Dave Smith, right? I mean, that's a pretty easy thing to not invite Dave Smith to do a debate on stage when you know he's going to win.
Well, that was, and I mentioned this also at the thing. There was something about me, because look, obviously he had Tucker and he had Megyn Kelly there, who both essentially said Mossad was Epstein, and were very, Tucker certainly was very critical of the Israeli government. But Tucker and Megyn are Tucker and Megyn. So, like, you have to have them at a conservative conference. Who could tell you you're not going to have them? They're like legacy icons of the conservative movement. But there was no need to have me. Like, that was a choice. Like, that was just, he could have just not invited me. But anyway, so then this all gets exposed, or this, you get attacked for making up this nonsense. And now all of the receipts have been produced that this part I don't even think is in dispute by anyone at this point, that yes, millions of dollars had been pulled out of Turning Point USA over platforming Tucker Carlson, and maybe to some extent me or whatever. And
yeah, I know, guys. It's easy to forget, and when you're putting on a good show, you get sucked into the show. I understand. That's why I like to politely remind you. That's why I have those mods who are supposed to be reminding you as well. But whatever you can do, I honestly, just the fact that you guys are here means the world to me.
Then also the biggest one is this thread, this group chat, where he actually literally says in writing that I'm forced. I have no choice other than to abandon Israel. And then the other thing that is a real important detail here, which really, can't be overstated, is that Charlie's right-hand man there, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, Andrew, is it? At Turning Point? Yes.
Candace would know. Shout out to Morgoth's Hammer over on Rumble. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Said liked and shared. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very, very much again, guys. That stuff really does help. Thank you so very much.
So Andrew, who I met down at that event, who was always by Charlie's side, he confirmed not only that the group chat was real, that he's the one who took the screenshot of it, and that he sent it to the authorities, which is like, look, it's just, I'm not saying that proves anything about who done it, but it is like the fact that the closest guy in the organization to Charlie found that information to be relevant enough that he's like, the authorities should know that he just said he was turning on Israel. Now,
yeah, and like if they were up to some shady-ish, we would expect that is not how they do things. Look at what we got again from Unwanted Foes. Said, buy yourself something nice to wear. I did just have to. I don't make money from my own merch, and my other shirt. The letters were starting to come off. So as you've seen, I got some new shirts. So I already did that. Thank you. And again, oh my goodness, out sponsoring herself, Manders with another $10. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, yep. Look how much. You remember how full that was? You guys have emptied this whole thing. You guys are amazing. Thank you so very, very much. You know I'm bad at math. Let me get that banner fixed, and we'll dive back in. Thank you, both of you, so very, very much.
Relevant enough that he's like, the authorities should know that he just said he was turning on Israel. Now, correct me if I'm getting any of the chronology of this wrong, or if there's more stuff you want to add, but that at least is like, that at least justifies your entire investigation into this. That you're like, hey, you guys were saying this whole thing was crazy, and we're at least at the point where like, no, it's pretty much confirmed by all that that's exactly what was going on.
I was just sitting back and amazed at how quickly.
So there we go, 320 in the Morty Memorial Fund, 4 out of 15 super chats, and guys, we are $1 away from the halfway mark on that $50 total. Thank you so very, very much, guys. You are amazing. Amazing. I gotta add that one. I gotta add that to my soundboard. I got beta, but I need amazing. Thank you, guys.
I was just sitting back and amazed at how quickly Bibi Netanyahu interjected himself in this situation. He was not a personal friend of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk obviously had an affinity for Israel throughout his career. Everybody knew he was changing in the end. It was such a strange thing that they then tried to say that wasn't real. So that obviously immediately for me becomes a compelling motive, because there's no reason to lie. This is like what I said about the Bill Ackman summit. There's no reason to lie. You could easily say, which is 100% true, Seth Dillon pressed him. They did this whole meeting. Bibi Netanyahu calls, invites him to Israel. Charlie says no, offers to fund Turning Point to the next level, which is totally normal for like a sitting prime minister of a country that's fighting a 97,000 front war. I
thought you said 97,000 fart war.
Charlie said no. Okay. And if they had been like forthcoming and everyone had just kind of told the truth, I would have just been like, okay, like this is like some crazy lefty that did this. There's just never a reason to lie. Even if I get into a fight with Charlie the day before he dies, I would be like, my biggest regret is that my last words to Charlie were F you. And this shows you life can be taken from you at any moment. Like I am just beside myself.
Hey, I made it to 38 without dropping that one time. I think the highest I've done in one is 40. I think the highest we've done in total was 75. I think that was our record. 75 push-ups, not $75.
They were obsessively lying, trying to bury this thing. And it made me go, something's just not right here. Okay. Then I learned, thanks to the Turning Point people, like the younger people at the organization were just like, there's a lot of lies being told. Charlie was concerned about finances. Particularly, he didn't know where the money was coming from. That's a very strange thing. I saw evidence of that. I obviously then presented the Doge email. He 7 days before he dies says, I'm going to start, audit, like a personal audit campaign inside a Doge committee inside to figure out things, where it was going, where it was coming from, and who it was going.
Had my protein shake, and Manders will remember. And if Bob gets out of work, I still got some of that Wendy's chili that I ordered last night. I mean, Wendy's chili is so good, so good. So right now we are at $24, which would be 12 push-ups. So let's get those are rookie numbers.
A Doge committee inside to figure out things, where it was going, where it was coming from, and who it was going to.
If we hit the goal, if we get 15 super chats of any amount, or if we hit the $50, then I have to do the push-ups. So if we don't hit the goal, then I am scot-free, baby. But if you guys do hit that goal, so if we get $11 in super chats. So eat $1 super chat or 99 cent super chats count towards the total. So it's either 15 in total or $50 in total. And so if we hit that, then every $2 is a push-up. And Morty, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Holy moly! Mandex, yeah, bro, you synced it. You synced it. That red, baby. Oh, my goodness. $100. $100, Manders. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. I am not looking forward to the push-ups, but I am very much looking forward to the support. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Section said you're cooked. Well, I mean, if we gotta take breaks, we'll take breaks, but we are gonna do them all. We are gonna do them all. We got Shelly Babes in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. I got the can. That's a thing? I need to order that immediately. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the party, and of course, sponsoring the stream, Vanders Be Weird. Thank you so very, 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 very much. And so we got push-ups at the end, but that wins Morty his special treat. Oh, he's excited. Let's go. So every time we get a super chat over $2 or more, I'm gonna refill it. So this is for hitting the goal. Oh, look at it. Just look at it. So that's what he's got. Oh, give me a high five. Yeah, give me a high five. Yeah, good job. Oh my goodness. Shout out to all of the donations, but I mean a super special shout out to Manders Be Weird. I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's dive right back in.
A Doge committee inside to figure out things, where it was going, where it was coming from, and who it was going to. That's not a normal thing for somebody to be wondering about their company and then they're dead. So everything was a lie. And honestly, the one that struck me as the oddest was them lying about the Catholic thing.
I mean...
Okay, and I'm including Andrew Colvett in this. Because what's this got to do with anything?
I mean, this was a drunk order at 2 in the morning. I just made it, and yesterday was wild. Were you not around? I was not on my best yesterday.
Everything was a lie, and honestly, the one that struck me as the oddest was them lying about the Catholic thing. Okay, and I'm including Andrew Colvett in this. Because what's this got to do with anything, I'm thinking, right? We all know Catholic gang. We knew he was going to mass daily sometimes. We knew he had the St. Michael pendant. I knew that Eric had flown a priest right when he died. And they're getting up here and they're like, no, he just liked the architecture and he would sometimes he would go in there and because he just liked pretty walls. I'm like, what is this lie about, right? So I'm putting together a picture, and the obvious thing to me, if I am a detective, is you're only lying because you're hiding something, right? And it seems to me like they're trying to not upset the very people that were pressuring him.
Fair, but that also sounds kind of bootlickery. Well, if you have nothing to hide, why won't you let the government do whatever they want?
They want him to be this committed Christian Zionist. He never faltered on it. If you want that money to keep going, are these donors still pressuring you? Now, why is Bibi Netanyahu lying? I don't know. But what I do know is we aren't getting the truth about anything. Then you couple that with...
We are definitely not getting the truth about anything. And that's Charlie Kirk or the Trump assassinations, the fucking all the way going back to Vegas. When's the last time we actually got answers for something like that? Where there was political violence, and we were like, oh, that's what happened. And we could actually trust it. Anyone? Bueller? I don't remember either.
No, but what I do know is we aren't getting the truth about anything. Then you couple that with Turning Point is lying, covering. That could just be financial, trying to protect the finances after Charlie, who knows. But then you add the Fed messages that they didn't want to give us a time about, the person's writing like they're in, 1887, this just young gay 20-year-olds writing like we're in 1887. It's a nonsense. They have no explanation for that. I know that makes no sense. The persons, I've got contact with the family. They're telling me that the feds are even lying about why he turned himself in. They basically were told, we'll slam down your doors or you can come in peacefully. What are you going to do? Like, hey, we got you no matter what. You have to.
Well, that's why the bootlicker thing is not really, I don't really appeal to that, but fair enough. Oh my goodness! Unwanted vote with another $3. And that's a refill! Refill! Bum, bum, bum. Yeah! Thank you. So very, very much, of course. All right, let me do the math before I forget. I gotta update the banner. Thank you. So very, 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 very much.
Your doors, or you can come in peacefully. What are you going to do? Like, hey, we got you no matter what. You have two options here. You know, he turned himself in, the family friend. I mean, there isn't a single thing they have told us, unless you believe in the fantasy of the Superman neck because Charlie ate healthy,
right.
And a 30-06.
Superman? And the what? The Superman neck? What does that mean?
Fantasy of the Superman neck because Charlie ate healthy,
right.
And a 30-06, which would have decapitated him, as every hunter knows. He stopped it. He saved lives and he stopped it. And this was just your regular Christian miracle. It's all nonsense. Okay.
I agree. Christian miracles are nonsense.
We don't know what happened, but we certainly know that what they're telling us is bullshit, right? And people we're just so tired of being sold slop. Another thing that struck me as very odd was they were pushing this kid, Breland Holland. You may have seen this, like, nice kid. He's like young.
Yeah. But it looks like he was made in an AI lab or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, just nice kid. Trump mentions this kid in his speech at the memorial.
We were at 24. We were at 24, and then we had 103. So 127. Oh my goodness. 127 divided by 2. 127. Boom. And of course, Amanda's out sponsoring herself. That's 63 push-ups. I do get to round down. So when we get a half, we're at 63 and a half. We've rounded that down to 63, but I've never done that in one go. So nobody else donate. I don't want to do anymore. Maybe Morgan. The quality said it's a reference to him stopping a 30-06 bullet with his neck. A round of that caliber would have gone right through him and the person behind him. Gotcha. Thank you for the info. Crazy. Am I missing anybody from the banner?
Nice kid. Trump mentions this kid in his speech at the memorial. Okay. Donald Trump mentions this kid who he doesn't know. And he's like, Charlie interviewed this kid who was only in 4th grade, blah, blah, blah. Hi, I was there for the interview. Trump wasn't. Why is Trump mentioning this? It was a random side podcast that we did when we did an event down in Alabama. Who put this in your speech? Okay. This had nothing to do with you, Trump. You didn't even know that I was there, right? Because somebody put this in your speech. That seems to me like you're just kind of trying to set the stage for this kid who's controlled by Israel narratives to become the new Charlie Kirk. So it just smells, and I'm covering it meticulously. And there obviously is an emotional investment here. Again! Charlie was an amazing person. You know, he really was. He held the line.
Oh my goodness. Where is it?
Again!
Oh, unwanted foe! Again! One more. Let's give it one more.
Again!
Oh my goodness. Time for a refill. Oh, this stuff smells so bad. You're gonna be fat as fuck. Okay, we're not gonna feel too much. But you get a little extra. Put it on the outside so you can slurp it up nice and good. There you go. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you again. You guys are amazing. Again.
Investment here. Charlie was an amazing person. You know, he really was. He held the line. And when he gave an inch, like, okay, I won't have Candace, there's a reason he then said, and now you get Dave Smith, Tucker Carlson, and everybody else who's anti-Israel. That's how he was. He was very strategic. And I know he pissed off Bibi Netanyahu and his boys because he is the single reason, okay, that we did not go to war with Iran. You guys may think that's crazy. It's a fact.
No.
Charlie? She's saying Charlie's I need to hear that again. Charlie's the reason we didn't go to war with Iran. Interesting. I think so. Morgan. Morgan said, "Is one photo referring to Thor? Another." And breaks is a glass. I think so. But do we have? Okay. Anyway. Door again. Oh, come on. Yes, I believe that's what we're talking about, right? Really? I thought that would be like right there. Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm very mad. I am very, very mad at YouTube for not having that right there. Ironically, I bet X would have it right there. Right there. So, indeed, the Thor reference. Shout out to Thor. Oh, my goodness. Morty, not so secretly, wants to be fat, so it's cool. Yeah, hey, he ain't here for a long time, so let's make it a good time. Thank you again. Let's dive right back in.
And I know he pissed off Bibi Netanyahu and his boys because he is the single reason, okay, that we did not go to war with Iran. You guys may think that's crazy. It's a fact.
No, it was a big, that was a big deal. And look, I remember it. I remember texting him and giving him a lot of credit for it at the time, because it was like what happened was, as Trump is flirting with what it turned into the 12-day war, or around the time when Israel starts first bombing and it wasn't clear whether or not we were going to get in on it. It was like, again, like it was you, Tucker, like all these people, Steve Bannon, there were all these people who, I mean, like really, really influential, like high level. I remember talking about it at the time and being like, I've just never seen anything like this before. Like this would be like in 2004, like Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh all turning against George W. Bush's policy in the war. Like, what would that look like? You can't even like imagine it. Or Rachel Maddow and all of them turning against Obama or something. You never saw. But here you have this, and then Charlie, who was more. Look, obviously he was more. He was in a slightly different game than the rest of us are in. Like, he wasn't just doing a show. He was doing a get out the vote youth organizational big tent Republican thing.
So is the argument that the war would have the attack, we'll say, the attack would have had a very different and maybe more fervent backing if it weren't for the youth who became more engaged and more America first because of Charlie? I buy it. I buy it.
So he was always the most just pro-Trump of the group. Like, not that all of you guys might have supported Trump, but that was Charlie's identity. And then when even he came out and was just like, no, dude, like, we are not, this is not what the Trump base wants. Like, this is not, that is a huge, look, again, to some degree, it's hard to prove the counterfactual or what influence everything had, but that made it that there was such a political price for Donald Trump to have escalated the thing. Like,
and he was saying this to his face at the White House. And Charlie was, as someone said to me, and this is a perfect way to put it, Charlie was a maestro, right? So he would play like, hey, Mr. President, here's why, and here's whatever. And then he'd go and he'd call me, and he'd call like Matt Gaetz and Tucker. He'd be like, hammer him, showing you like, the market, they don't like this, whatever. And he won. Like, in a room full of people who wanted him to go to war with Iran, Charlie Kirk made the difference. And I don't take Bibi Netanyahu as someone who would take that lightly, right? And everything he has done since Charlie has passed, trying to assert his legacy as he never blinked on Israel, it makes me uncomfortable, okay? Now, that's a feeling, and I've expressed that feeling, but I've also been meticulous about delivering a timeline of the facts, and it is very clear that some funny business started happening after the notorious event where you and Tucker spoke at, and they were enraged, and the donors were enraged. They took millions of dollars, and he said
they didn't like it. They weren't EA Jews, so they didn't like it, and it wasn't boo Jews. It was just boo Israel. How dare you? So we had the poll. Is it a bad reflection on Candace if her extended family is on government assistance? And 80% of you said no. And yeah, at first thought that did kind of rub me the wrong way, but thinking about it, I'm with the nose on this one. We now have a new prompt. Is it unreasonable to think that Charlie Kirk could have been president one day? And if you guys are, if it goes hard, I'm going to make it more. If it goes hard in one direction, I'm going to make it a little bit more specific. All right, diving back in.
Spoke at, and they were enraged, and the donors were enraged. They took millions of dollars, and he said after that, he said no to Bibi Netanyahu. He said, no, I don't want your money. I don't want to take Turning Point to the next level. I've now recently, which I haven't presented yet, am learning how much money each person at Turning Point lost when Bibi Netanyahu said when Charlie said it would be Netanyahu because they were going to get a percentage of that. And that's interesting. Anybody investigating a crime knows, look at financial motives, right? Common sense, look at financial motives. And they're emotionally manipulating us like it's disrespectful to his legacy to pursue truth. I knew Charlie. I'm not listening to them. You do one of two things when you go through something like that. I suffered a real trauma. I had to take 2 weeks off because I couldn't even process what was happening. And the way they were trying to get us to just forget about it. Dave, just move on. His legacy is he loves Israel. It's over. And here's what you can do if you love Charlie, donate. Okay. No. I was behind Turning Point because Charlie was there. He's not there. I need to know what and who is running this organization now behind the scenes. And I'm not going to accept that, okay, well, Erica Kirk, on paper, she's a chairman and she's a CEO, but you don't learn how to be a chairman and a CEO overnight because your husband died, right?
Sure, but I think specifically with TPUSA, I think not in general. I wouldn't expect Mackenzie Bezos to be able to pick up Amazon just because Jeff did. But because Turning Point, as successful as it still was a small operation. It's not like it was some multi-conglomerate whatever. And I think, in terms of the community aspect we were talking about earlier, that's definitely who I have modeled myself after in terms of the community is Charlie Kirk and TPUSA. And even though Erica wasn't necessarily or in front of the camera a lot, I think from what I heard rather, that she's always been very hands-on with the company. So again, it's like, where do you have anything to substantiate, or are you just putting together a lot of speculations without any grounding? Because if you have the grounding and then you speculate off of that, it's still speculating, but at least you have a grounding. I'm trying to hang on to where the main thing is. And I thought we were getting into it when she said, when the letter came out. But she's kind of jumping around and not really giving me too much to go on. Which, again, I'm not saying she's wrong about her conclusions, but she's not giving me enough to say, I can agree with Candace. And 86% of you said, no, it is not unreasonable to think that he could be president one day. I am with you guys. So I'm going to make that a little, same question, but a little bit more specific. A little bit more, because that one was pretty vague.
Or she's a chairman and she's a CEO, but you don't learn how to be a chairman and a CEO overnight because your husband died, right? That's just a fact. I couldn't be a chairman and a CEO. And I've been in business. My husband does all that because it's not my natural interest. You have to actually like the mundane. You got to read the contracts and you got to understand the LLC structures, the contractors that you're bringing in for a company that's worth $100 million, Dave. No, okay. There's some snakes in the garden and I'm here to cut the grass and figure out where they are.
Yeah, well, and I think also people.
Oh, there's snakes in the grass, and I'm here. So, what did she say?
/Dave. People don't understand how talented
that you're bringing in for a company that's worth $100 million, Dave. No, okay. There's some snakes in the garden, and I'm here to cut the grass and figure out where they are.
There it is. There's snakes in the garden. I'm here to cut the grass and figure out where they are.
Yeah, well, and I think also people don't understand how talented Charlie was, and that's natural. That's the way things work with really talented people. They make it look kind of easy, and then everybody else kind of doesn't really. But it's just to be people don't understand.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So maybe in general, if we want to say, just because your husband does a thing doesn't mean that you know how to do that thing. But in this specific instance, I do think that is relevant, that she was very hands-on.
How good you have to be to go just do what he would do and hold court with all of these students and debate 1,000 different people and then go you got to be really good to do that. But then also people in a weird way go, Charlie did what all of us do, and then he ran this gigantic organization, which really moved the needle in a very powerful way. In fact.
And speaking of, Liberty, I agree with you here that the Christian nationalist movement, the Ortho Bros and such, not just the Christian one, but the Ortho Bros and such, that ilk, they obviously liked Charlie Kirk, even though Charlie Kirk was very moderate on a lot of those things. He was very passionate about his faith and all of that. But in terms of the politics, it was very policy based. And I think you're spot on that he could have been the person that brought that to be a more palatable thing, but not if he was going to be all in on Israel and he was backing off of Israel. So, you know, there might not be any reason for me to have debated, or for me to have debate made by Jim Bob, November 25th on Speakeasy channel. You never know. You never know. Check it out.
This gigantic organization, which really moved the needle in a very powerful way. In fact, might be the reason why Donald Trump is president. I mean, if you go look at the polling data from 2024, the youth movement was a huge difference for Donald Trump, and I'd have to double look at that. Might have been the margin of.
Yeah, Quality said about the unreasonability of Charlie Kirk. Not at all. Charlie very well could have been president. Family man with a good-looking wife, cute kids, tall, Christian, and opinionated. So, Equality, the new one is: would Charlie Kirk have gotten enough votes to be in the debate for the 2028 presidential election? That's a much higher bar. That's a much higher bar.
A victory is a big deal. And by the way, all those youth are now going back to the Democrats. At least that's what it looks like as of this week, which is an interesting thing to think about.
I'm not going to vote, so there's that.
You know, there's a real interesting dynamic there that I kind of that I do want to talk to you about a bit, where it seems like it's almost and in a way, I think this was something that was one of Charlie's big concerns. Okay, we'll get to this in a second, but you know, it was like, I know, so essentially,
why don't you want Erica Kirk in your backyard?
Right, like everybody started kind of releasing messages, and you know, Netanyahu is selectively reading from the letter. Bill Ackman's releasing text messages. You end up releasing some group chats, and you had that one show where you called on. You were like, "Hey, Dave, Tucker, like whatever you guys got." Like, and I was like, "Okay." So I looked through my text message with Charlie. Now I didn't know we became friends over this last year, but I didn't know him like the way you knew him. We weren't like close like that. But I was like, I wonder if there's and I didn't really have much, but I had that one text message that he did send me right after I debated Douglas Murray.
Yeah, and I remember when Dave was talking about this, I mean, this is his show, but I mean, when he was talking about this initially, and, you know, the decision to say, okay, I am going to release these text messages. I am going to show private correspondence. He was like, well, I mean, some people just, like, threw it out there. Some people are using it to be like, look how close of friends we are and stuff. But he didn't think they were, he was doing that. He was trying to help you know, understand what happened.
Where he was like, this Murray guy was really full of shit. And he goes, you know, I actually agree with almost all of what you were saying there. And I did release that because I do think, like, look, even if, let's just
remember, the debate specifically was an Israel-Palestine, Israel-Gaza debate. And Douglas Murray was the pro-Israel no matter what. How have you been? That debate. And so Charlie Kirk watched that, and he was like, I mean, you know, I'm Charlie Kirk, but Dave Smith fucking won that shit.
Say there is a thorough investigation. It gets done with, you know, there's cameras in the courtroom. We all get to see the evidence, please. And we really are at the end of this. Like 8 months from now, me and you are talking, and we're like, it was Tyler Robinson, and it was, you know, like, this is just, the evidence does look like he was a lone left-wing nut. Well, okay, fine. It's still, the fact is that when somebody young, who's so beloved by millions of people, gets killed in such a public, gruesome way, in such a high-profile political assassination, that people trying to hijack his legacy, like, that matters. And I'm sorry, like, if you're going to tell me that Charlie Kirk, there is no daylight between him and Ben Shapiro, or him and Josh Hammer, or him and Benjamin Netanyahu, let me tell you what none of those guys do.
Damn, unapologetic preacher is unapologetic and doesn't like that fucking bar. There's snakes in the garden, and I'm here to cut the grass. Said blah blah blah. Candace isn't even part of TP USA, and they are distancing from her. And that is why. That is specifically why I want to hear what she has to say. But I need Dave to push back a little bit more, because there's a lot just being thrown out there. That's just like, yeah, maybe that could make sense. But let's talk about it. What are you doing here then? Oh, Candace. Okay, gotcha. I thought you were talking about Erica. Candace is welcome in the backyard. Not sure what grass she's cutting. Got him.
Josh Hammer, or him and Benjamin Netanyahu. Let me tell you what none of those guys do, is text me after my debate with Douglas Murray and go, you know, I really agreed with most of what you said there.
Even though he's a Jew.
They don't say that. You're an evil enemy to them at that point. And that wasn't Charlie's attitude. Charlie's attitude was like, I get what you're saying, man. Let's talk about this more. Like, we should hammer this out. And so at the very least, even if it's not something to do with the actual, like, crime, this is all still very relevant to get to the bottom of, like, what was going on here. And
even if we don't expect to actually get to the bottom of it, then the more information, the better.
Then, of
And by
course,
the way,
there's-
you're speaking to his character. And that's what I wanted
Right.
people to understand. For the people that were like, oh, Charlie was just doing whatever for Israel. Charlie was pro-Israel like I was pro-Israel because he actually believed it at that time. He was an authentic human being. It was not this like hardcore political idiot. He wasn't in a cult. And he was transformative. If he thought something and he was wrong, he would change his mind and he would tell you how he got there. And they knew that about him. They knew that he was not a cult member and that money was not going to be something that was going to make him go, okay, well, I'm just going to say the thing and look like a fool. What Charlie
Say the thing. We love to say the thing, just like we love our boy, the Funk Master General. Welcome to the party. Oh man, 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so very much. If Krager, Toe Knuckles, Shelly Babes, Angry Snowman, Food Toy, Noah the Great, Bree Rodriguez, Adam King, Amberly Rose, and OX Cat XO, you guys are now members of the Discord. Did I not pin the freaking link? Oh my goodness. Let me get a link for you guys. You now have full access to the Discord server. So there's a link that I am dropping, and we'll pin to the top of the chat, is the Discord link, which is free for anyone to join. However, if you are a member, you are invited to the after party, where as soon as we are done here on YouTube, we are headed over there to have a chit chat about whatever we want without having to worry about any of the YouTube censors. Thank you so very much. And you guys know what that means. Refill. I'm trying to make a bridge the gap so it's all covered. It's like a little butthole. Lick the little butthole, bro. Yay! Thank you so very much. Oh my goodness. I gotta do some math, and we're gonna have to do some push-ups. But thank you, and welcome to the party, sir. Always a pleasure to see ya.
something that was going to make him go, okay, well, I'm just going to say the thing and look like a fool. What Charlie wanted more than anything else was to win. Okay. In order to win, you have to be right. And in order to win, you have to be right long term. And so Charlie would do the due diligence. He would study things. He would have the conversations, and he was landing up. He was just winding up on the other side of this thing, like I did, where it's like, hey, and that's what I said to him. I was like, when you start looking into this, you're feeling the pressure, you're going to see something's very wrong. Like, we did not have this right, Charlie. We did not have this right. And because he had that humility to admit that he was wrong, he no longer served their purpose, right? That's what I realized. They will throw you out and coordinate behind the scenes, have all their sicko fans go after you, take quotes out of context, start with the articles. He's flirting with anti-Semitism. He put on a hot dress and he saw anti-Semitism, whatever.
Again, guys, oh my goodness, over $450 in the Morty Memorial Fund, 8 out of 15, and $160 out of 50. You guys are coming through for me tonight. Thank you so very, very much. I'm not looking forward to it. But I appreciate you guys. I am definitely feeling the love tonight. And, he definitely is. Did you drop it? What happened? Oh, you dropped it, you lazy bastard. There you go. Let's go indeed.
Anti-Semitism. He put on a hot dress and he saw anti-Semitism, whatever. That's kind of where they start. And that's the threat of the articles that are about to drop. And Charlie said no. And so that is one of the things that makes me just.
Morgan's Hammer said, in order to win, you have to be right. What? What the hell is Gossip Girl talking about? Was Stalin right? Was Mao right? Did they win? They were on top for a while. Did they win? I don't know if I would say that, but yeah, that is I think when we're talking about discussions, which is or the cultural battle, I think what she's saying is that you have to have the right opinions in order to win in the marketplace of ideas. That is what I thought. So we are so what's half of 160? 80 push-ups. 80 push-ups, including the $30 for the, where are they? For the gifted membership, so 80 fucking push-ups, my goodness gracious.
And Charlie said no. And so that is one of the things that makes me just so happy. And when I just pray, I just want him to know, you died with your soul intact. And something that brought me such peace was a donor to Turning Point USA, who's very close with Charlie, said to me in the immediate aftermath, a soul that is in struggle will free itself.
All right. Morgoth said, getting total control of a country counts as winning. Fair. I kind of think you're looking to nitpick. I don't think that's what she meant. And I think in the when we're talking about having when we're talking about having these discussions and these movements, I think that's what she was saying, is that you have to be right in order to push this idea that people are going to get behind. If I'm being charitable, maybe she's just bullshitting. I don't know, but that's what I saw. Shout out to MM. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. How are we doing tonight?
A soul that is in struggle will free itself, right? One way or the other, it will free itself. And I think for Charlie, his soul was starting to struggle. And to know that his last things that he said to them was like, no, F you, keep your money. Like, he died a free man. And I think that that's really important for people to know.
Yeah. And like, if I just can't imagine, like you say for.
Okay, Morgan, this is a better argument. Did Bill Clinton or Barack Obama win elections? Would she say they were right? Absurd nonsense. All right, you won me over. It sounds good, but all right. Behave said she could at least buy her parents a house. They raised her and put her through school. Well, and so that's where the actually, she remember that moment with Destiny when oh man, it's time for a side quest. Destiny, Candace. Oh, we might have already done this. Bum. Oh, come on. You're not gonna give me a clip.
I mean, I'm not telling people, like I said, I tell people how I actually live and what I actually believe. And I don't know that you do that. Like, it wouldn't be the majority of women, I think, do want to have families and want to aspire to family. And that's fine. But when you try to create a brand of it and you say things like, oh, well, if you have kids, then you can't just smoke pot and stay in bed and be naked all day. This is actually something that, like, Seth Rogen just said. Okay. What you're doing there is you're actually trying to...
It's not in here. Hold on. We'll do... All right. Real quick. We'll go to the original and see if we can actually... Did you... Oh, we need the transcript.
Something doesn't matter. Parents are son of...
Oh, we're right here. Hell yeah. Shout out for once. For once. Shout out to YouTube for, picking up where we left off. So let's see.
Degrees that they paid for. You should not be aspiring to...
You shouldn't do only...
saying like, I got to college and here's how no money that I can make. I didn't know this. I actually feel bad for those girls.
Okay, so they were generally just talking about college and women and all that stuff. And then it goes left.
Because we have to just stop lying to people about what college is. It's been inflated.
When you look at like black community stuff, isn't in the black community, isn't one of the reasons why women are starting to out-earn black men is because they're going to school and they're going to college and they're actually getting degrees and they're getting real careers? Isn't that one of the biggest contributing factors?
I don't know that.
Okay. Okay. Final question.
I think, by the way, women, by the way, all across the board are graduating at higher rates than men. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say, because I do want to make a point about what you do. Because I did see that you did a video and you were like taking the side of hoes, like you saw this through this video, and but I am also telling will listen like hearing choosing up that are rules that work.
Isn't that what you're doing right now?
What do you mean?
Like journalism stuff?
You probably don't know my backstory. So
here because we go. Found it. Yes. Shout out to me and shout out to you.
My family was poor. I had to take out loans to go to school. My mom didn't even graduate high school.
So right there, according to her, they did not put her through school. They did raise her, but they did not put her.
So
wait, why? If your family's poor, why would you have to take out loans to go to school?
What? I just told you.
If your family's poor, why would you have to take out loans to go to school?
Why would I have to take out loans to go to?
She's so confused. Like, what do you mean? That's the only reason you would need to do that.
I have to take out loans my family can't afford to pay to put me through school.
Hold on. Was your family actually poor, or did you just lie?
What are you talking about?
If you go...
That's why I searched, did you... Oh, it was just... I searched, did you lie?
To school and your family has a low gross income. You fill out FAFSA. And the FAFSA is going to award you a ton of federal aid, assuming that you don't actually have the gross income from your parents to actually go to school. So if your parents are super poor, I don't know why you had to pay full out-of-state tuition to go to a university.
I agree with this wholeheartedly. Section 230 said it's their job to raise her. They don't deserve a payback for that. And that is a very common thing you see on TikTok. There is like a community of people who have gotten no contact with their parents. It's usually younger Gen X or older millennials. And then there's two kinds. There's like the liberal, oh, you like Trump. But then there's also the legitimate side where it's like, no, my boomer parents are fucking insane. And they literally believe that I owe them everything that I have because of the fact that they gave birth to me. And homie, don't play that shit. Homie, don't play that shit. Death Poet said, I don't know. If I had disposable income, I'd think hard about whom I made it rain. Candace was raised by her grandparents, who are probably deceased. So there we go. You know, getting all the more information we get, it's starting to come together why maybe some people in her family are legitimately, or not, maybe not legitimately on food stamps, but on food stamps through no reflection on Candace. Let's finish watching Destiny be retarded. Cool.
So if your parents are super poor, I don't know why you had to pay full out-of-state tuition to go to a university.
I did. Do you think? What do you mean? Did I lie?
I don't know how if your parents are poor, if they have a low gross income, how do you not qualify for the FAFSA?
Okay. Well, all I can say to you is that I had to pay 35 almost. My school cost more, and by the end of it, and I'm also including because then I defaulted on my student loans and I had to pay it back. So now I had to pay back the bank for not being able to pay them on time.
So, something doesn't match up here.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're stupid and you're privileged and you had enough money, so that you don't understand how this actually works, despite the fact that you preach being for the working class and the low class and the poor people. Meanwhile, you sit in your ivory tower not knowing jack shit about shit.
Well, I'm telling you the truth, so I don't know what to say.
Did you fill out a FAFSA?
Yeah, well, I also didn't have parents that could help me fill it out. I was a first-generation college student. My dad...
you didn't have a school, the same school counselor you told these people to ignore? You didn't talk to one of them and say, hey, can you help me fill out?
Like, if you're trying to shame me for not doing things right...
I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just, the background doesn't make any sense. I'm not shaming anything.
I don't get your point here. Like, I'm telling you...
Did you just lie? Yeah, I'm not trying to...
The truth. I have no reason to lie about this.
My point is, you complained about having $100,000 in debt. You told these people not to talk to counselors, and you said that your family was poor, so you went to school for journalism on an out-of-state tuition. You didn't fill out a FAFSA for any student aid. There's a ton of money there.
I'm just saying, like, what is your point in saying, am I lying about it? Like,
because I don't understand how you came from a poor family and didn't fill out a FAFSA and get a ton of student aid.
I did fill out FAFSA.
And they didn't give you anything?
I maybe got, in terms of I remember getting a Pell Grant that was like $8,000.
Okay.
Per year? I'm telling the truth. So I just want to be clear.
Again, the lack of self-awareness. Did you just lie? And then it was like, no, I didn't. I'm a little offended that you came at me like that. Oh, what are you trying to do? I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything. Oh, this fruitcake. This fruitcake. All right. Always fun to laugh at how stupid Destiny can be. What are you guys saying here? Section 230 said FAFSA requires your parents to sign it. If they refuse, you get nothing. We're getting more and more of a picture of what Candace's childhood and family were like. So, that's why I was slow to judge. All right, I'm back in.
I'm telling the truth about my life.
Oh, wrong one.
And like if I just can't imagine, you know, like say to Josh Hammer, who supposedly was a close friend of Charlie Kirk's, and according to him was which is I think very weird to be saying right after he died. Like even if this was true, I would find this very bizarre to be saying. Like if you if I just like the first podcast, just knowing Charlie the way I knew him, if I like the first.
I'm so sorry Dave Smith died. You know the last thing Dave Smith said to me. The last thing he said to me, we had this conversation. He was like, Candace, your feminism book was amazing, and I want to go to makehimasandwich.com and buy your feminism book. And that's
shameless plug, but yeah, Equality said Section 230. One can also say children owe aid to their parents too. But I think that's what we're saying is that's not how it works. You decided to have a child. You decided to go through this. I'm just here. So how can I owe you anything? I didn't agree to anything about anything. Liberty said, I think I'm losing my mind. I just saw a clip of the Trump assassination attempt. And I just noticed nobody in the crowd ran. Multiple people just sat there like nothing was happening. Am I crazy? So from what I remember, it was a seated event. And so everybody was just like kind of huddled down in place, because like run, you know, if you're in a seat, right, and you see rows of people behind you, and you see rows of people, like, where are you running to? There's nowhere to go. And so, and then I would expect that, running and I don't know. Yeah, I did find it a little odd, but not odd like this is a conspiracy odd. I don't know.
Amazing. And I want to go to makehimasandwich.com and buy your feminism book. It was the last loving conversation we had. It was really close to Dave.
By the way, and I like your book on feminism, but like if I died and then you did a show about it afterward, I'd find it kind of weird if that was
not one show. It was his first tweet after Charlie died.
And then
it was his first tweet. He did multiple shows about it.
Oh,
yeah. Who's done that? How dare you?
How dare you?
Do multiple shows about the death of Charlie Kirk? I agree with Candace Owens right there. Sarcasm, obviously.
oh my God! And he almost even
Is that projection? I think that counts. Projection. That projection whistle.
Charlie died.
And then
it was his first tweet. He did multiple shows about it.
Oh my God! And he almost even the way he says it, like I pointed this out.
I know what I'm saying. Is she not doing the same thing?
But on the show at one point, that every single interview, he always says the horrific murder of my friend Charlie. Just always in those words. It's always the horrific murder of my friend. It's like, why are you talking to me like you focus group says it? Like,
again, I thought they fixed it. No, let's do one with
another one.
And again, I don't know why it cuts off the beginning.
Another one.
Echo or no echo? Because it's so annoying. I did a test stream for StreamYard. They were like, can you talk into the thing, use your soundboard, then use our sounds while you're not talking, and then use sounds while you're talking. And when I did that, it worked perfectly. So I guess I gotta make, I guess, you like the echo? Well, I mean, enjoy it for now.
Another one.
But at least we got some, like, booze. That doesn't really matter too much. I think maybe the echo is a little funny on the shut up one, but the could be better. But, all right, thank you for letting me know. I don't think so, because I don't think it's the dual stream. Because before that was a thing, it was a problem, and so you guys have seen the Discord video that I do, but I have to throw that up in VLC because when I put it in here, then it echoes. And so, like, same thing with the intro. It's supposed to be bing, 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 boom. Not bring, 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 boom. So I hear it normally. I hear it bing, 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 boom. I know you guys hear it bring, 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 bring. Morgan said the echo actually sounds good with the harp. Well, I mean, I'm glad that it sounds good, but I would like it fixed, please. God damn it. So now I gotta make another test stream and watch. I bet you that one is gonna work perfectly. Oh my goodness. All right, Devin back in here.
Oh, it's the horrific murder of my friend. It's like, why are you talking to me like you focus group says it? Like, I don't want the global language dictionary here. Be a human being. Talk about what, and I would just imagine, like, whatever it is, like me and you, we agree on.
Don't forget about them refills.
All types of issues. And like, let's say, like, right before, like, God forbid something happened to you. The night before, you were texting with me, and you were like, I don't know, Dave. I mean, I know you've been saying we should end the Fed and have like a free market and money, but I'm really thinking we need a central bank and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, shoot, like Candace is like, diverting from the thing that we agree on or whatever. And then, like, God forbid you got killed, and they'd be like, oh, Candace was turning on the idea of Ron Paulian, free market economics. I'd be like, well, she was exploring other ideas. It was a time when there was a lot of
guys. There's one person watching the vertical stream right now, and it has more likes than the horizontal stream. I'm going to assume that all of you that are here have already hit the like button because you've been so amazing to me tonight. But if just in case you haven't, again, guys, that stuff really does help. Just give it a double tap if you're on your phone or whatever, or just hit that like button. Thank you So very, very much.
Like, but to just lie, I would find that to be such a betrayal of my. I'd be like, yeah, it was a shame. I would have convinced her though. You know, we were going to argue about it, and I bet she would have come back to agreeing with me after that. Like, just say something like that. Why, like, why? You know, there's just something very profoundly wrong about lying
it's not just
about.
Profoundly wrong. It is demonic. That's what I'm saying. Most of us have something spiritually that would stop us from doing it. So we either don't want to talk about it at all because we're embarrassed, right? Like, I don't even want to talk about the fact that we were fighting, which is fine.
Shout out to Real Rain. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said, I only wish I had homies like Candace. That is one thing that, regardless of how right or wrong or conspiratorial or whatever it is, she really, I believe she really feels like she's backing up her friend. I do feel that through the genuineness of that. Again, whether she's off base or spot on, that's I'll let you guys decide. But she is definitely somebody that I would like to call a friend if shit is going down. Welcome to the party, Real Rain.
From doing it. So we either don't want to talk about it at all because we're embarrassed, right? Like, I don't even want to talk about the fact that we were fighting, which is fine. But to race out of the gate before anybody even cares about what your last conversation was, and to lie about his state of mind, to lie about, and knowing he was feeling so much pressure too. Like, he was like hurting over this. Like, you know what I mean? And you just lie. There is something spiritually wrong with Josh Hammer. So I don't even accept that, like, oh, like it's disgusting, it's wrong. It's like, no, this is actually demonic. Okay. A regular human being can't do that. There's certain things you just go, oh, I'm sorry. That makes me really uncomfortable to do something like that. And you could see that. That's why Megyn Kelly, I didn't expect her to be, you know, such a stalwart on this thing. And she was like, no, he was definitely going through something towards the end because he died. And that normal spiritual thing came on where Megyn was like, hey, these lies are actually I'm not okay with it. And I want to make sure the truth gets out there. And so it did present an opportunity for people to see that we're not being dramatic when we say that these people are evil. Like, that is an evil to do that to your quote unquote friend, to lie about him because you want to protect your identity as a pro-Israel psychopath, which is kind of what he is. He's a pro-Israel psychopath. There's not no other way to say it.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, I should go out of my way, as you said, that just to give some credit to Megyn Kelly, because she has been really solid on this. And obviously, like, you know, there's, you know, I've always liked Megyn, and I've done her show a few times. And I've always liked her. There's always a lot of issues I disagree with her about, I'm sure, but just like having the basic principle of being like, no, I'm not going along with this like mob and saying I'm supposed to now throw my friends under the bus and this whole thing where we're supposed to pretend the people who were like everybody loved 5 minutes ago are now just like, you know,
it's all bullshit. It's all about image and optics. And speaking of optics, Real Rain said Shapiro is evil. Is he evil, or is he just? I feel like he's like one step below evil, in the sense that I think he's more wrong than he is evil. Is that fair? Is that fair? I don't know.
Possessed by evil almost. You know, I thought it was so funny listening to Mark Levin and Lindsey Graham at this Genocide Fest 2025, where they're like, you know, like if you were to hear them talk about it, it's like, dude, I guess everybody just got possessed by Israel hatred over the last couple of years, and nothing else was going on in the news with Israel, Candace. It's just that, I don't know, so everybody just kind of, I guess,
just randomly, people decided the same thing anymore.
Tar must have sent a lot of money around, and then everybody was.
Fair enough. Agree to disagree. And again, I haven't really watched Ben Shapiro in any real capacity, probably in the last at least 3 years. I think the last thing that I saw him long form was his debate with Alex O'Connor, which was about 3 years ago. And even then, I was like, I don't really watch Ben like that. I mean, I guess I never really did. I watched a lot of the clips from the events when he would do the Q&As and stuff, the 1.0 version of Change My Mind, with liberal tears and facts don't care about your feelings. But yeah, I was never really a fan of his daily show or anything.
just all, you know, that's what happened is that like all these people like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and all the people who have been household names now for many, many years, who, you know, is very successful at the top of the conservative, most popular like commentators. They all just sold out their soul for Qatari money and just, and their whole audience is possessed by it too. And nothing. And then they just leave out that part where like, you guys committed a genocide in 4K and forced us to pay for it. Like, you don't think that had a little bit to do with this? You don't think that had something to do with where we're at today? And this like, you know, so one of the things, this is what I was getting at before, because Charlie was a movement guy. Charlie was a big tent guy. Charlie was a guy who wanted to find a way for us to not lose to like the crazy progressive leftists.
What are we talking about? Konstantin Kisin was crashing out when Dave went on the show the other day. I mentioned Nick saying he liked Stalin like 7 times. I wasn't sure. It was between that and this. And I just felt like, because of the fact that most of what I saw from I assume you're talking about the trigonometry episode. The most of what I saw of that was just rehashing the is Israel right or wrong or justified, a lot of that. I'm sure there were some good moments, but from what I saw, it was just, you know, a little much. And then somebody else watched it while I was taking a nap. Shout out to you. And was like, this isn't really gripping. So I was like, well, let's go with Candace. Let's go with Candace. If you guys really, really want to see it, then the Dave Smith on trigonometry, we can do that tomorrow. I got some clients, some dog training clients, but then we can do whatever. Let me know.
A way for us to not lose to like the crazy progressive leftists. And you've heard this brought up a lot by Mark Levin and by Ben Shapiro and people like that over this last week. You know, we just had an election. The Democrats had a good night. You go, look, there's this infighting on the right. And so if we keep doing this, we're going to end up losing and AOC is going to be president or something like that. Now, of course, they just take it as a given that, like, I guess we're just supposed to shut up and they get their way. Is, you know, like, why is that the way it works? But at a certain point, I actually think they're, in a sense, they're right about that one argument. And Charlie was right to like be concerned about this. But here's the thing, right? And you being number one, and you and Tucker are the biggest two. You're the biggest two conservative people in the news. And
that is true. Is it okay? Another poll. Is it a good thing that Candace and Tucker are the two biggest names in conservative news? I have a feeling I know where that's gonna go, but I'm not sure. She's gone off the fucking reservation. That's what I thought. You said. I thought you said. He said he liked Stalin 3 times. I was just reading what Liberty said. So he said 7 times, so I said 7. But I don't know. I didn't watch that part. There's a groyperish channel I follow called Rhetorically Defective, and it's honestly a good window into the mindset of this new thing. Highly recommend the channel. It's entertaining too. Word up. Let's see. What do we got? Well, you know what? I mean, while we're here. Let's do a side quest. It was rhetorically. What is that? Why did that happen? Defective. There we are. All right. What's his? Oh man. Do we have anything? Do we get any shorts? Let's see what shorts we got.
Look, I imagine the gender roles that you want to keep provide some sort of utility.
The utility is kind of just kind of like kind of getting people kind of classified as like who they are, who they choose to like be in society, I guess.
Yeah, but why do you need gender for that? Why can't it just be a person that's in society being themselves, expressing their personality however they feel like it? Why do we need the concept of gender to it?
Because
good question.
For one, let me get my thoughts straight here.
Let me think about this and try to come up with some bullshit. Why did you post this?
For one, this has kind of just been something that hold on.
Oh yeah, I just gotta. I had the answer ready, but you know, I just gotta make sure we're super comfortable. Oh, what was the question that you had? Oh yeah, just all that time, and he's still.
So the reason why gender roles
This better be the greatest answer in the world. Why would you post this unless you took all that time and then dunked?
themselves provide some sort of a...
Okay. Shout out to Pluribus. Guys, go watch Pluribus if you hate people like the commies. I want to see one more now. I want to see one more. Let's see. So this one, that one only had not even 500. This has almost 900 views.
Do you feel as though those societal expectations change over time?
Yes.
It says gender roles haven't changed in 70 years. Also, femboys. What? Okay.
Do you feel as though those societal expectations change over time?
Yes.
Do you think that those societal expectations are vastly different than they were like 70 years ago?
I don't know how vastly different, but a little, yeah. Some men who don't want to be women, but definitely want to fulfill some of the more feminine roles, like femboys.
Oh, what feminine role are they filling?
It could be anything. It could be that
Has he said anything?
they want to...
what role in society?
Well, in the family unit, I would say more. They're trying to...
All right, you've got...
often...
He's got 1 minute. He's got 1 minute to win me over on a regular video. Maybe shorts just aren't his thing. All right, there we go. There we go.
So, fellas, and my harder fellows that have joined the channel, Dave Smith just went on trigonometry, and oh boy, are these guys salty about Mustache Man. You know, in other videos, I used to attribute this behavior to the left, where they want you more focused on right.
Hitler was very cool.
All of a sudden,
My name,
if Nick
the people
not gonna do a kissing that we haven't heard before.
This is it. This is it. I'll subscribe if this is good. I don't like the cartoon stuff, but I get it's the Groper stuff. It's not anime stuff, so I'll take that.
We should kill black people. Black people are genetically inferior, and therefore we should structure society in such a way that they get mistreated. I will kill, rape, and die in my name.
Wow, you see? They get to say whatever they want with no consequences. But then all of a sudden, if Nick Fuentes brings up Mustache Man and Stalin, it's so scary. Such a double standard.
If you have a Holocaust denier who says Hitler was very cool on your show, and you praised Hitler, and then came on my show and also praised Stalin, and he's someone who's saying things like, I love Hitler, I love Stalin.
Okay, but that is different than a sitting senator who's advocating for a war. Every business should be run democratically.
But does he admire Stalin? Does he say what we need is Stalin policies in America? So that's the difference.
Okay,
yeah, look, I don't agree with you that broccoli is brilliant, if that's what you believe. But if you said, I love Stalin, on the other hand, he has Nick Fuentes on, who says, I love Stalin.
You know,
so you don't think Nick...
Oh, I am glad that we did not watch this.
Likes Hitler.
This seems boring.
Or, you don't think he likes Stalin?
You know, honestly, I don't know. I just don't know.
Did you
Okay, so give us some commentary, brother.
ask him?
We've got to be honest, Dave. We really...
I love Stalin.
Yeah, dude, no one cares. That used to carry some weight, but we're seeing what's going on in society, and
Nobody really cares.
we're starting to realize that you just focus on that to obscure a conversation that very much needs to be had, which we'll expound upon a little bit later on. But Dave Smith pretty much lays everything out in 2 minutes of what should be the entire conversation, but of course they're going to try and struggle session him, but listen to him spit.
To me, a little bit of a disconnect between what that interview actually was and the way that a lot of people are perceiving it, where they're saying that, like, okay, yes, it's true that Tucker, or myself for that matter, didn't go, hey, we've got you here. I think you're a terrible person, and here are all the awful things that you've said, and I want to fight with you for 3 hours about all these awful things you've said here. But I also think that Nick Fuentes is a unique thing. You know, he came up in the dark, like his whole brand is that he's saying the most, you know, toxic things. And he's intentionally, obviously, I mean, if you ever watch the kid, he's doing a right-wing shock jock thing. Like, there's a lot of humor involved in it, there's a lot of trolling involved in it, and there's a lot of kind of like getting off on I'm saying the wildest, edgiest thing. And in that environment, no, I actually don't think it's good. Well, let me just finish this.
Okay, sure.
In that environment, I don't think the right move is to like go like, I'm appalled by what you said. To me, at least, it seemed more like the right move was to go like, all right, hey, let's talk about this. Like, do we actually believe this? You know, and what was interesting to me is when he talked to me, at least, I know he did condemn racial hatred. He was like, yes, we shouldn't hate people just because of the race that they are.
All right, so the whole thing is just, well, Nick Fuentes isn't that bad. Like, I don't necessarily disagree. I don't know too much about him. What did I do here? Why does this look different? What did I do? Whatever. So the clip to rhetorically defective. That is in the chat if you would like to subscribe. I personally will take a pass, but let's dive right back in. And yeah, I think that when they first were coming onto the scene, when they're first blowing up, then trigonometry was doing some good stuff. But I think because of their wokeness, they put themselves into a corner. And not being American and focusing so heavily on American stuff without, you know, really living it and understanding it before they were talking about it. I think just they're just not. It's empty words. It's intelligent enough, but it's empty words. So, if they got something good, I'll check it out. But other than that, I'm good.
Tucker are the biggest two. You're the biggest two conservative people in the news. And like then as Charlie noted, as Megyn Kelly's noted, nobody under 30 supports Israel anymore. Barely anyone under 40 supports Israel anymore. It is essentially my point is that you're right. If we fracture up this coalition, we'll end up losing to the Democrats. But the only way to overcome that and win is to obviously go with the wind. It's like saying in 2016, hey, there's a big divide between Donald Trump and the entire GOP establishment on immigration. They want open borders and he wants to build a wall. And it's like, yes, but you've got him and 100% of the base against you. So the only option here is to go with his immigration policy, and then you could win the election. And I do think this all comes down to the war party and to Israel, which are kind of, one and the same in this country. And it's like, JD Vance, you can embrace that and lose, or you can come over here with the people and have a real shot of winning.
And I think that's I have a slight disagreement in how Dave puts that out, but I do agree that there is there is that schism, and it does seem like the Trump sycophant type people versus the broadly speaking America First people, not necessarily Nick Fuentes America First, but like I want American policies or I want policies that put America first. I think JD Vance is going to have to make sure that he falls in line with the second. Otherwise, he's just going to be another neocon, and that ain't going to win. Well, I mean, depending on who they put up, but even still, do we really want that? Do we really want to go back to neocons? Not like we never really ever really left, but you know what I mean.
What do you want to do?
And look, we have the Republican Party, we have a Democrat Party, and then we have the Knesset Party, and they've infiltrated both of the parties actually. And what's happening right now?
The Knesset Party? I have never heard that word in my life.
Now is left and right. People are saying no to that. The reasons might
no to that. Shout out to Dylan Sue. Welcome to the party over on the vertical stream. But oh look, it's a social autopsy lady. But what? What does that mean? I don't know what that's about. But hey, welcome to the party.
Actually, and what's happening right now is left and right. People are saying no to that. The reasons might be different, but it's a populist movement one way or the other. Right. And it's hilarious to me that they think after me watching Charlie Kirk get assassinated, them spitting in our face and telling us that it's raining about everything that happened here, the viciousness that they themselves directed toward me in the aftermath. I mean, people are like, they tried to say that I didn't even know Charlie. I mean, they were so intent on making.
A lot of people were like, yeah, Charlie in the sense that he doesn't like you. That's what I was hearing. And again, I've not done the deep dive, so I don't know. But that's what's out there.
Sure that not one drop of Candace being anti-Israel was a part of his legacy, that they just lied. They lied in a way that for the grief that I was going through, like, I'm not a crier. I mean, it was a lot. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. It was a lot for me to go through. And I look back and I'm like, wow, the nastiness of them doing this. And then like a couple of weeks later being like, and now we demand you tell your audience to go vote for who we want them to vote for.
Yeah.
F you.
So that part, I definitely love her or hate her. She definitely has been ejected from mainstream conservatism, aside from the fact that she is so popular on her own. In terms of like other people, she has, especially from before when she was still at Daily Wire and earlier, she's definitely been pushed out. And so I see her as on an island. She's doing what she wants to do because she's doing it. Not for any movement, not for anything else, but because Candace wants to do what Candace wants to do. And at this point, fair enough. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but totally fair.
F you. I am not doing anything. Okay, here's the way it works, and here's how common sense is, okay? You tell me I can do this job. I can build your house. I can do this. I hire you, okay? I get behind it. I say, okay, I hire you. Go do that job. You then don't do it. You look at me and you say, Epstein who? Okay, like you're at the top of the FBI, and you say, "Oh, these are the real messages." You're blocking people, as Kash Patel is, from looking into Tulsi's team and Joe Kent. You saw this playing out in the news. They won't even let them look into whether or not foreign people could have been involved in this. And then you're like, "And now go get out more people to vote so that we stay in power." No.
Guys, the poll is split 50-50 with only 4 votes. It is good or bad that Tucker and Candace are the top conservative names. Hit that poll. Let me know what you think.
Oh, buddy, okay? In your famous words, you're fired as far as I'm concerned, okay? And so I don't know what's around the corner, but I do know that my platform is not yours, okay? My platform belongs to the truth, left and right, okay? And so it was just
preach, queen.
Incredible to me. They were like, and not even that, they were like, get out people and tell them to vote against Mamdani and to, like, you know, get behind Trump. Okay, if you want to do that, that's your thing. But I'm telling you, I'm not doing anything because for me, life stopped, political life stopped when Charlie Kirk was murdered and you wanted me to move on. I'm not moving on from it.
Yeah.
By the way, it wasn't.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Real Rain said, America First is not a hashtag, it's a movement. I agree. So do you see that movement as inherently tied to the Groypers? Or do you see it how I was explaining before, where it's just a mentality of our policies should put American lives, American sanctity, American safety, all those things before any other country?
Because of Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson sitting down, that MAGA got splintered. It got splintered when you said Epstein who? That's it. Literally for me on my show, when I said, okay, what is this? Did the Loch Ness swamp monster come up and swallow the MAGA party? Actually, who is the Loch Ness monster? I think it's Israel.
Definitely is.
Okay, I think it's Israel, actually.
Such a good point.
And if Trump suddenly joined the Never Trump party, which he did, right? Trump joined the Never Trump movement. That's what's happening right now. And now they're trying to tell us to join it. I'm good. I've always.
So, she's saying
Trump joined the Never Trump movement.
Does she mean that the Never Trump movement was not a left-right thing, especially in the beginning? It was everybody who thought that, like, he was, too much of an outsider. He wasn't presidential. Is she saying she joined up with, just the establishment? What else could she mean there? I don't know. That's a weird way of putting it. Maybe she'll explain. I want to vote said it's a tough poll question. Came down to thinking of all the potential top conservatives out there. Who are these two? That out there. These two are more good than bad. I'll take that. I'll take that. Real Rain said AF. Oh, America First is the evolution of MAGA. We are the MAGAs that Trump betrayed. Dilly fucking dilly to that. I completely agree that MAGA is also a movement that started with Trump, but very quickly outgrew him. When it started to be about, and especially since the last election, MAGA and Trump are no longer the same thing. And I argue that a lot of who Trump has become has betrayed the MAGA that we were. That's why, I moved the heater, but I used to have a heater right here, and on it was my my MAGA hat. I keep it around. What the fuck is on this shit? I keep it around because, like, when I debate Jim Bob, I want to have this in the frame so that they don't, can't call me a lefty. But other than that, yeah, man. Once he was like, "Why do you even care about the Epstein files?" I was like, done. Like, that doesn't mean that I think that Kamala would have been a better president.
Oh, man.
But too many unkept promises. Liberty said if it's just someone who likes fires, that doesn't actually inform us of their beliefs, other than they like to watch Nick. If it's just someone who likes Fuentes, that doesn't actually inform us of their beliefs. Fair enough. But I think, there's a lot of people who are not willing to even give in to the notion that Nick could be right. And people like Tucker and Dave are allowing him the opportunity, even though, they're talking about, like, I'm not platforming him. He's way bigger than I am. But the mainstream access, can he tone it down? Can he be someone who is generally palatable? Even if he's edgy, does he have to be the groiper, or can he be just some guy that has, you know, a different set of opinions? It seems like he could do the latter, but not if he actually believes the stuff that you know, that Constantine Kissin was grilling Dave on. And so that's the question. Do you believe that Nick Fuentes has become Nick Fuentes because he understood how to be edgy, he understood how to be controversial and use that, or because that's just who he is? That's the question. I don't have the answer. I would like to think, especially because he's getting more and more popular, that it's the latter. Or no, that's the former. That he's just, you know, he was just being an edgy kid. And now he's like, okay, now that I've got your attention, here's what's really good. I hope that's it. I don't know.
Suddenly joined the Never Trump party, which he did, right? Trump joined the Never Trump movement. That's what's happening right now. And now they're trying to tell us to join it. I'm good. I've always been against the Never Trumpers, and I'm going to stay that way, even if Trump has joined them.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Mike W. in the building. Welcome. So that's just who he is. Oh, my goodness. Shout out to a Real Rain with the big $20. So first, of course, we got a treat. Let's pull this down so Moni can get his treat. Treat, of course, and let's read this and then give him a refill. Real Rain said one thing about the Groypers. They've been consistent when it was uncool to go against TradCon Israel supporters. They showed up and asked the hard questions. They weren't crazy, just early. Well, I mean, dilly to that. There's something to be said about being true to who you are. And even if I don't agree with the ideas that make up who you are in this political context, I can respect that you are being real. There's not enough people. I'll say there's too many people not being real. There's a lot of people who are being real out there, but there's too many people not being real. So dilly to that. Thank you so very much. And that's adding some more push-ups at the end of the stream. Thank you so very much. Let's dive right back in.
Good. I've always been against the Never Trumpers, and I'm going to stay that way, even if Trump has joined them.
Yeah, well, that's such an important point, and so but I just real quick before I get to that, I just do want to say, and I made this point last night. I was on my buddy Clint Russell's podcast, Liberty Lockdown. Oh, Clint Russell, by the way, criminally underrated. He's great. So it was me, him, and Ian Carroll, and we did.
Yeah, it was trending. You guys were trending.
Yeah, well, it was a great show. I think I bowled over everyone. I talked too much on the show. I apologize.
Shout out Real Rain. Oh, I almost forgot. It's time for a refill. For a big 20. Look at it. Just look at it. Oh, you're going to get it all over. Boom. Hey. Oh, let's pull this out of the way so y'all can see the... He's got it all over his face. Oh, thank you so very much. Go ahead and enjoy it, brother. Yeah, we'll keep this running.
I was for it afterward, and I was like, I bet I'm gonna get shit in the comments for this, and I did today. So sorry about that, guys. It was late. I'd had a couple whiskeys. I was ranting a bit.
That was me last night. Can we still see over that? No, right.
But it was a great show, and you should go subscribe to Clint Russell's channel if you get a chance. But I said this to them on that show, and I wanted to just make sure I say this again while you're on my show, that, look, I don't know everything about everyone here, but one thing I do know is over this last year, I mean, me and you have become friends over the last couple of years. Me and Charlie became friends over this last year from hanging out with both of you. And I remember talking to you, because, we'd all talk about all this stuff. And I remember talking to you about Charlie years ago when we were hanging out. And you were just had nothing. You were like, Charlie's the greatest guy. Just had nothing but like, I love him to death. He's the greatest guy ever. And I talked to Charlie about you briefly when we were down at the student action summit, whatever the big event where me and Tucker and Megan were. And literally,
what? Why would we believe that? That's what? Say more on this. Why do you think that's something that he would say, and doesn't drink whiskey?
Literally just all he had to say was how much he adored and loved you. Like, so the idea of people going like, there was this distance that had been growing between, like, okay, actually, I know both of them. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's just a fact. And I genuinely challenge anybody in Charlie's inner circle, tell me the wrong. I swear, even Josh Hammer wouldn't have the goddamn balls. Maybe he would, but he's lying. So that's one thing. But then on this other thing, it's very interesting, and that you're absolutely right that it really was the Epstein thing. I said this at the time too.
And again, that 100% was the case for me. Like my red pill, because I came from being an ever Trumper in 2015, and it took a while to red pill me, but there wasn't one big moment where I was like, okay, done. That being said, it was very clear that before the Rittenhouse trial, I was warming up to Trump, but I didn't want to claim that I was conservative or anything like. I didn't want to be associated with that. And then after the trial, I was like, "That's my people. I don't fucking care. That's my people. I don't fucking care."
That people do not understand how profound what he's done here is to, and it may not even show up in a poll. I mean, his numbers did go down after that, but I'm not sure the polls can, because a lot of people who support Donald Trump, they supported him, they voted for him. If you asked them, they'd probably still say, do you support Donald Trump? Yeah, I'm a Trump guy. I'm not a Kamala Harris Democrat or something. But the energy and
I mean, if you haven't been there, you ain't streaming enough you're not streaming genuinely, all right? That's how you know. I'm bringing you to real shit, because sometimes is a little bit ugly. Guys, again, we've got 4 more votes on the poll, but 2 on each one, so we are stuck at 50-50. It is good or bad that Tucker and Candace are the top conservative names. Let me know.
The loyalty and the enthusiasm were just tremendously degraded by him. Is the whole...
He looks like... I disagree, but that's hilarious. I disagree. He's Legion of Skanks, fucking grimy New York comic. Maybe I'm biased too, but I mean, so okay. I gotta hold on. We'll do that. Do the poll on the and that one. A heart for you. I forget that there's separate chats now. Good or bad. All right. Poll on both. There you go. There you go.
We're just tremendously degraded by him. Is the whole political raison d'etre of Donald Trump.
The what? Raison d'etre? What the fuck does that mean? I need a load.
By him. Is the whole political raison d'etre of Donald Trump was to drain the swamp. And this is
raison d'etre.
The most important reason or purpose for someone or something's existence. Interesting. I would assume that is French or something? Yeah, sounds French. Interesting. The most important reason or purpose for someone's existence. Oh, God damn it.
We're just tremendously degraded by him. Is the whole political raison d'etre of Donald Trump was to drain the swamp. And this is the swampiest of the swamp, a pedophile ring connected to government and foreign intelligence assets. Like, come on. And I will say, weirdly, that at that event, which it was a thing that in a way I think saved me, because Josh Hammer, which was somewhat crafty of him, because it's the best he's going to do debating me. But so what he did for the whole opening of his statement was, like I'm a me, so I get up there and I'm like, the neoconservatives were a marriage of the Israeli lobby and the military-industrial complex, and their clean break strategy is what we embarked on after 9/11, and this is the war in Iran. It's the culmination of the 7 countries in 5 years and all that shit. And then his whole opening statement is just every nasty thing I've ever said about Donald Trump. And just look, hey, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point audience, we love Trump.
Trump bad. Trump bad. He said Trump bad.
How about this guy? He don't love Trump. And which is a powerful way to win over an argument. I mean, it's a lame and dishonorable way to do it, but it is how politics works. You get these people like, well, what do you want to be? You want to be a leftist Kamala Harris supporter? You go, oh, no, we're not that. Okay, we'll be the other thing. And then I just went, Yeah, I'm talking about the guy who just covered up the Epstein story. Sorry, I'm going to criticize that guy. And the whole crowd was back with me because there was something about that moment. I had this experience recently where I did Stephen.
There's only so far you can go. There's only so far you can go just because of the fact that the right is not a cult. And even though there are cultish people and sycophants within the right in general is not a cult like the left is. And so when there's all this fighting, then it's not about, I mean, well, there's definitely tribalism in there. But the tribalism comes from the actual ideas. What ideas do we actually support and care about?
Crowder's podcast. And that's all. We had this debate.
Did we cover that? I forget if we covered that. I feel like I told you guys that you should watch it, but I didn't really have much to add to it. Or maybe I did cover it. I don't remember. I drink too much.
Moment. I had this experience recently where I did Stephen Crowder's podcast. And that's all. We had this debate. All he tried to argue with was you called for impeaching Donald Trump. You said Donald Trump's a war criminal. And then someone showed me the other day, go look through the YouTube comments. Everybody's like, everyone's like, nah, like it's kind of like, look, the Trump loyalty thing is played out. They are public servants. They work for us. I'm loyal.
This is the argument of, well, why do you still support Donald Trump? Because he was still better than the other option. That doesn't mean that I love him. That doesn't mean that I even like him. That doesn't mean that I support everything he does. That all that means is that he was the lesser of two evils. And yeah, there's a lot of great things that I still will say about Trump, but there's a lot of bad shit too. And that ain't my fault. That's his fault.
To God. Yeah, I'm loyal to God. I'm loyal to my wife. I'm loyal to my friends. I'm not loyal to an administration. No. And to your point, it's like, this is not, and JD Vance or whoever it is not going to have that type of loyalty from a lot of us either. Like, you got to deliver on what we want. Like, and what we want is not bombing Iran and threatening to overthrow Venezuela.
We didn't want war.
Leave everyone alone and spend that money here.
And we were totally fine. Like the pro-Israel, he's always been pro-Israel, but it wasn't a relevant topic in the way that it is today. Like, are you going to stand up when Bibi Netanyahu says that he immediately wants your bombers to go take out, and like, you just go do it, and you were going to do more? If Charlie Kirk didn't stop it, you were actually going to do more. That seems pretty corrupt to us. Like the way that Bibi Netanyahu is just on camera being like, we're going to take over. I need this deal to go through with TikTok. And you're not saying anything.
Shout out to TikTok. We love TikTok. All right. The results are in. So we've got a total of 13 votes. It's split up on the landscape stream. 60% of you said that it is good that Tucker and Candace are the biggest names, and 40 said no bueno. But over on the verticals, we had 67% saying it was bad, with only one vote for good. Interesting. I got to start figuring out ways to do polls that will highlight some type of innate difference between the people who prefer the vertical stream to the horizontal stream. We're going to work on that. Yeah, maybe we'd save that for the after party, you know what I mean? Real Rain said, is it just me, or should voters holding the people we voted for accountable really, is it just me, or should voters holding the people we voted for accountable really, is it really great proposition, or is it common sense? Yeah, I think it's common sense. I think the way that you go about it and the reasons that you are trying to hold them accountable is relevant, but sounds like common sense to me. Actually, the libs don't understand how we can support Trump and also disagree with him. Exactly. You get it.
Being like, we're going to take over. I need this deal to go through with TikTok. And you're not saying anything. You were supposed to be the free speech enthusiast, and you're going after
let's see here.
College kids. You got Pam Bondi, who's like blanking us on Jeffrey Epstein, but responding to like a kid that gets shoved by a girl on a college campus. He's wearing an IDF. So he's basically like wearing an IDF shirt, asking for it. And a girl gives him a little shove, and it requires Randy Fine and Pam Bondi to respond within minutes. You can't figure out the Epstein thing, but we've got like literally an Amber Alert. The feds are like able to answer quick. Like, I'm sorry, this is a joke.
They care about what they want to care about. They act on what they want to act on. That is politics.
This is not what I voted for, and you're not going to struggle sashing me into they're like using the ghost of Charlie Kirk. This is what Charlie would want. This is what Charlie would want. It's like, was I born yesterday? I don't know, but all I know is that I don't care what happens. You're going to have to work for our vote when we elect.
You don't know if you were born yesterday?
You're electing you for a certain job. You don't deliver on that job. Joke's on you. And I think right now the Trump family is feeling that. You know, you see that they are, I think, probably now in retrospect realizing how significant Charlie Kirk was, because he was damning that, right? Because everyone, even if you disagreed with him,
he was a buffer. He was a buffer between, well, okay, maybe this isn't the best policy, but it's so central to the culture that this is still the right side, and I believe that. But I think it's hard for people who didn't go through that red pilling to be able to see through the smokescreen of Trump bad.
People would play his clips. There was a level of respect that people had for Charlie Kirk because they sensed his authenticity. He was authentic, and you would sense that he would get stressed when he was being pressed not to be authentic. And that's now removed. And all we have are these puppets. And I'm including Trump amongst this. He has let his base down, and stop blaming Nick Fuentes, okay? I'm not a Nick.
That's one thing I will say, is that it is not Nick Fuentes' fault that Trump didn't keep up with his promises. I can have different opinions and not like Nick Fuentes for my own reasons that have nothing to do with the reasons that I'm frustrated with this Trump presidency.
Fuentes fan. Why can't Nick Fuentes have a platform? Why can't he have a conversation? Why can't he talk to Dave Smith and Tucker? The free market works like this, by the way, okay? If his ideas suck, then Nick Fuentes will be beaten in the free markets. I don't need Nick Fuentes censored. I need you to actually deliver on your promises so that Nick Fuentes he wouldn't have a platform unless you guys were lying about something, right? Like, you're lying about something where people feel like they're not getting the truth from this person, and they're going and they're listening to more of Nick Fuentes. They said
you could argue. Okay, so the next poll here is going to be about, what did she just say?
They're not getting the truth from this person, and they're going and they're listening to more of Nick Fuentes.
I had it. I had a good one. Rubrain said, Nick is just acknowledging what we are all thinking. Oh, I got it back. All right, hold on.
Like, they're not getting the truth from this person, and they're going and they're listening to more of Nick Fuentes. They sense that you're a liar. And so stop talking to me about this is Nick Fuentes, are the grapers, you know, the anonymous frogs, you know, this is their fault. No, this is your fault for not delivering on your promises. And one of those big promises was to protect speech, okay? And we see what you're doing, redefining anti-Semitism on college campuses.
You know, like the woke do. All right, so both vertical and horizontal have a new poll. Would Nick Fuentes obviously be popular if Trump kept his promises? Would he have just faded into the background because he wouldn't have had anything to complain about when it came to America First and the like? Or is he just that undeniable?
Get out of my face.
Well, also, look, again, there's a certain point, you know, this was actually, it's funny because my friend Daryl Cooper, when he was on Tucker Carlson, he had this big controversy over people totally misconstruing the thing that he was saying. But if you actually listen to the thing that he was saying,
say the thing. The thing is the most important thing to say.
Saying was that, look, he goes, even if you want to take the most generous interpretation of Adolf Hitler, if you want to find a way to try to be on his side, he's responsible for the people who died under his custody. And the point he was ultimately making was like, look, Israel, if you launch a war in Gaza and you don't have a plan for how to protect the civilians there, then you're responsible for their death. Like that, it doesn't matter in a sense whether you shot him in the head, or in the same sense where, like, if you kidnap someone and you lock them in your basement and just don't feed them and then they die.
Yeah, you killed that person.
You murdered that person. You didn't just kidnap them now. Now you kidnapped and murdered them because you're responsible for that. It doesn't matter if you lock them down there.
Yeah, that's a common thing. I don't like that here either. It's just it's hard to get people to pay attention. So when you're like, hey, go watch this person, it's like, yo, watch me, not them. So I get it, but I appreciate it for the shout out.
Kidnap them now. Now you kidnapped and murdered them because you're responsible for that. It doesn't matter if you locked them down there and shot him in the head or just let him starve to death. You still put him in the situation where. So that was his point. And likewise to Donald Trump, it's like, whether you even know about any of this or not,
the buck stops here, baby. You are the president of the United States and the leader of the free world.
You're still doing it. You've allowed your administration to be taken over by these guys. Now, look, I mean, I don't even think, to use an example about me, right? Like, I don't think that Donald Trump watched my debate with Douglas Murray and then decided to promote Douglas Murray's book the next day. But
Right.
somebody who's got access to Donald Trump's Twitter or whatever decided to the next day promote this book after it was like this. And okay, whatever. Like, I didn't care. I kind of took that as a feather in my cap. Like, yeah, you got to call in the big dogs to try to get us out.
That's how I would see it. Like, oh, you need Daddy Trump because you just got destroyed. Speaking for yourself.
Out of this. But at the end of all of this, whatever it is, it's like the Trump administration here has obviously been much more captured by Netanyahu and Mark Levin than by Candace Owens.
Yes, it's occupied. Everybody can see this is an occupied administration. And I love how
that's a good word for it, because as little as I actually know about the specifics, I cannot think of any rational reason why Trump would have such a hard flip on Epstein. It does not make sense to me. And like, if you want to talk about, oh, the Epstein files were always a psyop, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm stupid for thinking that someone would actually do that. Maybe I'm stupid. Never claimed otherwise. But I was promised that would be where we were moving. We also talked about America first. I cannot imagine anything that would change someone like Donald Trump's mind enough that he has to gaslight us. Like, oh, why do you care about that? You guys remember that, right? Fuck it. We will side quest. We will side quest! Where's the thing? I have too many banners. Too many banners. Okay. Trump. Press conference. Pam Bondi asked about Epstein.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering...
This was the moment. This was the moment I decided I cannot have a MAGA hat in my frame.
...mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney, Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape?
Yeah, sure. If
I said shit. Me too. We getting drunk. You. All right, here we go.
Say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape.
Yeah, sure. If
Could I just interrupt for a second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
That was it. Are you still talking about Epstein? This guy you talked about for years. By you! I only fucking know who his name is, or what his name is, because of you! You promised this. And then, just on a dime. What?
Sure.
And again, that was not a question asked to Trump. It was asked to Pam Bondi. He was like,
Are
I
you
gotta
still
stop
talking
you.
about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yep.
That is unbelievable.
Is it though? Is it though? Is it that unbelievable that people would care about the highest level PDF file ring? Really? Is it though? Is it though?
Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like...
Oh, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And so when I saw this, my understanding was that, I mean, I wouldn't kick her out of bed, but I do want to kick her out of office, but not out of bed. This was the moment where it was just like, oh, you've either been bought, you've been got to, and so when Candace says occupied, sounds about right to me.
That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
Yes.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein.
Why? Why?
At a time like this where we're having some...
Oh, at a time like this. This is like when the thing with Hassan was going on. It's like, oh my goodness, you're talking about a dog when there's a genocide going on? Yeah, we are.
Some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
You're a desecration.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
So then you should be fired for saying something that you didn't actually mean. Not understanding that saying it's sitting on my desk, implying that you fucking read it. That's the implication. Now, fair enough, it being on your desk doesn't mean inherently that you read it. But you're not stupid. You know that people are going to assume that if you're bringing up, oh, it's right on my desk, that you read it and you know it's in it. And when you give out these fucking binders, that you know what the fuck is going on. But you don't. Or maybe you do.
That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that's what we expected.
Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day.
You see the bait and switch. You guys want us to put out CP content? No, we want the names on the list. And then that doesn't even get into the Obama stuff, where it is clear that Obama committed treason. Just whatevs.
To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was
in that minute, all of the most important things that could ever be with this story happened. And we just don't know. We just can't get it. I don't know. We can't do it. Real Rain said, we have access to the information, but she's not looking at it. That's incompetence. Bingo. Yep. Amontevo said, we don't want the CP. We want the names of any and all adults in said CP videos. Exactly. And I mean, fair enough. That's what I'd say. Nobody cares about the name. They're all guilty. Like, okay, I don't necessarily disagree, but if we can get some type of evidence, at least culturally, we know they're not going to actually prosecute these people, but at least culturally, we know, oh, you're one of them. I'm not listening to anything that you say because you're one of them. So I disagree. I absolutely care about the names. What did I miss here? The fact that it didn't lead to more arrests is a crime itself. Yep. And that's why the MAGA hat is gone. Let's just finish this.
Every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well.
Why would that even be a thing? Why would that even be a thing?
That a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's it. That's it on Epstein. That's it. Guys, both vertical and landscape are stuck at 50-50 on this poll. I need to know. What do you think? Would Nick be popular if Trump kept his promises?
It's occupied. Everybody can see this is an occupied administration. And I love how I think right now I'm trending on X over this. So Candace Owens says she regrets her vote. You're not going to shame me for saying everything you're doing is unacceptable. Try a mom on the Epstein stuff, okay? Try a mom.
I mean, I don't regret my vote. I just am very happy that I was against any third term talk from before the election. Some of y'all were like, oh, third term, bro. Yeah, okay.
If you think I care more about loyalty to the MAGA cause than I care about pedophiles in positions of power getting away with it, you are out of your mind. You must have not listened to a single second of the Candace Owens podcast. You must have never listened to a thing I've ever said. If you think that I am that blind and dumb and loyal to any person, left or right, that I'm going to go, okay, we gotta let pedophilia go. Okay,
No big deal. No big deal. Do I remember President Nixon? I mean, I wasn't alive when he was in office. I am aware of who he was. Yes.
Hey, we gotta just move on. It's a hoax. You know, I know he actually went to prison for it, okay? But it's a hoax, and let's move on to it's a Democrat hoax. I mean, it is just...
The evidence there was not conclusive, but the inconclusive evidence from before that was conclusive that he definitely Epsteined himself.
So insulting, and you are correct that you know that some of these things are coming from people around him, like immediately tweeting out. It was so disrespectful when Charlie...
I saw fucking Forrest Gump, all right? I know all about Watergate and how Forrest Gump was the one that destroyed Nixon's legacy.
These things are coming from people around him, like immediately tweeting out. It was so disrespectful when Charlie died, a photo of Charlie AI. Do I think Donald Trump hopped on AI and made this photo of Charlie and him holding the Israeli-American flag combo? No. But I'm sorry, if you're not capable enough to control the people around you, then you shouldn't be in a position of power, okay? I don't get to, if something goes out on my account.
Exactly. Real Reign said, I don't regret my vote, nor do I. I'm disappointed in the person I voted for. Big difference. Agreed. Well said, sir. Well said, sir.
Then you shouldn't be in a position of power, okay? I don't get to, if something goes out on my account, right, and people go, oh, did this go on your account? I don't get to go, oh, well, you know what? My producer had access to that. Right. It's like, okay, but that's your account. So you take the blame, okay? The captain goes down with the ship, and we don't even know, you know, who's in control, but we know it's not Trump. So this is effectively like the Biden administration, but totally actually worse because Trump has his wits about him, right? So with Biden, at least we
can say, well, he's too fucking retarded to understand what's going on. But Trump knows exactly what the fuck he is doing. And expecting us to pretend that we don't. Not gonna happen. So on our landscape stream, wouldn't it be popular if Trump kept his promises? 6 votes, 67%. So that is what 4 of you said no, he would not be popular if Trump kept his promises. We go over to the vertical stream, 50-50. I don't know. Oh my goodness, it is up for debate.
actually worse because Trump has his wits about him, right? So with Biden, at least we knew, right, that he had dementia before they admitted it. At least we knew he wasn't in control the whole time.
Sharp as a tack.
It's almost worse because Trump doesn't have dementia, because Trump is actually sharp and he is aware and he is still occupied and somebody else is calling the shots.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And the fact that you know, these guys who all of them.
I did not realize the majority of this conversation was going to be about Trump bad, but not in the Trump bad way, but like, hey, this is Trump and this is bad. I expect a lot more Charlie Kirk here.
You know, like I've had this experience where, like I said, Josh Hammer, that's how he tried to debate me. That's how Steven Crowder tried to debate me. This guy's not pro-Trump. We're the pro-Trump side. Ben Shapiro did like several segments on me over the years. And the running joke was that he would never say my name. He would do segments, not of just like me on your show or me on Rogan's show, or like on my show. Like he would do segments of my show and still go, this comedian who evidently says he's a libertarian. Like he would never say Dave Smith. It's a very complicated name. But he would never say it.
A very complicated name.
But then the first time he ever said my name was when I called for Trump to be impeached after he launched the war in Iran.
Surprised? Me neither.
And then he goes, here's Dave Smith calling to him. And like, all I'm saying is like, you look at these Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder, and so all of them, they were all the never Trumpers. Like, how stupid does everybody have to be? What, do you not remember the National Review piece, Never Trump, in 2016?
They weren't just Never Trump.
I do. I read it and I was like, hell yeah, Never Trump, bro. Never Trump. We can't give up our democracy, bro.
They stayed Never Trumpers. They were pro-DeSantis. Yes. And then DeSantis lost. So they haven't won. The person that they have wanted to put in office, they have not had a winning philosophy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're like trying to convince us that they're MAGA. I actually don't understand it.
No, we're MAGA.
It's kind of confusing.
half of them pushed the Russiagate hoax. These were never Trumpers, and they were never Trumpers for a reason. Like, people just be like smart enough to see this for 1 second, right? Because it's funny when they come at me. Because look, I'm not like I voted for Trump this last time. I sat out the first two.
I think he was a Rubio guy. It was in the. Oh, okay. Now we gotta do the side quest. We gotta find out, because I'm pretty sure he admitted in the video that early on. So let's do Dave Smith. What the fuck were we just talking about? Oh, Crowder.
Iran was there to negotiate, which I think is absolutely crazy.
Let's try who. Let's try searching the transcript for who. Again, does anybody know why this Aha! There we go. Okay. Who? Okay, so we start with who. So we'll start at the top. Actually, no. Where are we? Okay, there's a huge group of people who supported you, blah, blah, blah. How about support? Let's try support.
Member of Congress who's introducing articles of impeachment. I'm a commentator who was on record supporting Donald Trump in 2024. And so when the war first broke out, what I was doing was saying in the loudest possible way there's a huge
I was like, what is going on with my computer? And I realized
group of people here who supported you, who are not only upset about this, but are repudiating everything about you, are criticizing you in the strongest possible language. Now, I am one of, in terms of like the Trump base of influential support, I'm one of the smaller members who was criticizing him. I mean, he had.
Does anybody remember specifically before Crowder got behind Trump initially, who he was fighting for? I want to say Rubio, but let's just scroll a little bit. And we'll see
diplomacy, which I thought you would be supportive of, he's done it more than other presidents. And I would say he's set apart pretty significantly, which is why I don't want to impeach him. I don't think that would make America stronger, more effective. I think it would make us weaker. That's really the crux of this. I think he's better than other presidents. I think he's the most effective president of our lifetime. And I don't think it's an impeachable offense. He asked me which wars did he end. I just gave you a list. Do those count?
Hold on.
Watch. Yeah, I just find that to be like, yes, okay.
But that was his approach.
Who'd you...
Just so that you guys get it all
Trump.
Perfectly, we'll get rid of that and make sure.
Yeah, I just.
You're paying attention. Section 236 Crowder was not a never Trumper. Fair. Let's see.
Find that to be like, yes, okay.
But that was his approach.
Who'd you support in 2016? See, in the primary, who were you for? Rubio?
Actually, in the primary, to egg on my face, I was pro Carly Fiorina just because I loved watching her stand.
Oh yeah, Carly Fiorina. Okay, so that is weird. But as wait, who said it? Being against or being for someone else? Did I see that somewhere? Crowder's been pissing me off, but he was not a never Trumper. Okay, so he was supporting he was supporting somebody else, but he wasn't a never Trumper. He's doing a video supporting Trump. I never agree with everyone on these things. Well, that's good. But I understand. Was like, okay, I understand your logic and those that I follow. Yep. Trump betrayed me when he didn't have Holly or Jim Jordan be VP. Holly would have been nice. Holly would have been dope. Dope. Well, maybe that was after Carly was out. Yeah, so Section 236, even if he supported someone else prior, that doesn't mean he was never a Trumper. Charoo. Never Trump was a specific type of Republican that we all hate. Well, or liberal. I mean, I was definitely hashtag never Trump, and I was not anywhere near the right at all. But let's just
actually in the primary, to egg on my face, I was pro Carly Fiorina just because I loved watching her sandbag debates.
I just love how everyone.
And Donald Trump. Hold on a second. Donald Trump was a Democrat, and then I supported him in the general election. I've supported him since. But I'm saying you right now are supporting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Barack Obama's approach to Iran, which Donald Trump opposed in his campaign, and you oppose Donald Trump. So that's. I mean, it is kind of a binary choice, right? Donald Trump campaigned on that.
I mean, It's really not.
Okay.
And yes, I think Barack Obama's foreign policy was horrible. Maybe the only thing he did good was getting the JCPOA done. So yes, in this very specific example, I do think that Obama did a better job with Iran than Donald Trump did. Okay. That is not true for the countries that like Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Somalia, Yemen. Obama was horrible. But I do think the deal was better off than not. I think that it's kind of a cheap thing on a conservative show to go, well, you're with Obama rather than Trump.
I didn't say that.
The most critical thing. I am the
You kind of did.
most critical of Obama, of probably any commentator.
I didn't.
You certainly implied it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah,
you might be critical.
You kind of framed it that way.
Okay. Barack Obama's approach, JCPOA, working well with Donald Trump, said.
Oh, so now you're saying I didn't do that, and then going to double down doing that.
The Iran nuclear deal is a disaster, one of the worst ever, and I would pull out, and he did. By the way, Iran didn't enrich past 20% until Biden, right? So you have Barack Obama's approach. Donald Trump specifically criticizing it, campaigning on doing the opposite. And I didn't say you support Obama. I said it seems like in dealing with Iran, you would agree with Obama's approach. And
so what do you think the average person in your audience thinks when you frame it that way?
For a reason. Like, people just be like smart enough to see this for 1 second, right? Because it's funny when they come at me, because look, I'm not like I voted for Trump this last time. I sat out the first two. I've always
I said shit. Me too.
been like, but the thing is, because I'm to the MAGA of him. I'm to the non-intervention of him. Like when Donald Trump came out and said, we're not going to fight these wars. Iraq, you lied us into Iraq, blah, 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 but we'll still bomb them and we'll take the oil and we'll do this. I went, nope, too much. That's still too much intervention for me.
Real Rain said, I really wish we did have a third-party option because I'm not a Republican, but I don't want to be labeled a liberal. I said, shit, me too. And I think that we are seeing a shift. We are seeing a shift where it's not going to be liberal and well, it's not going to be Democrat and Republican anymore. It's going to be more about... I think it is on both sides. It's going to be about foreign policy and America first, because I do think that there's a lot of the liberals that are, getting called anti-Semitic in their own right for just being like, well, why are we supporting this shit? I think it's a genocide, and you can decide on that. But yeah, I mean, you definitely can vote libertarian. But I mean, that's we know that unfortunately it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that not enough people vote for third parties, so third parties never win, so nobody votes for third parties, so third parties never win, so no. Despots said the White House was built in the mud, and when dignitaries were invited, they had to slosh through the muck and mosquitoes to eat bad dinners and sleep in drafty quarters. Well, that's what progress, real progress, not progressive, capital P progress, actual progress does. I believe you. America First will become the new party. And I am down. I am down.
Bomb them and we'll take the oil and we'll do this. I went, nope, too much. That's still too much intervention for me. Now, they rejected him because he was saying we shouldn't be so interventionist. I was over here like, you should be even more non-interventionist than that. Like, I want you to be Ron Paul. And so for them to sit here and say, it's like, yeah, dude, you guys all fought him over him signaling more in our direction of foreign policy, which is that we don't want to fight all these stupid wars. And it's like,
well, let's not let it. Let's stick the fuck together, not get lost in the bullshit, stay focused, stay locked in, and don't let it be co-opted.
Like, yeah, they're trying to use this energy. It's like, so what do you guys want to do? You want to run on Mark Levin's platform?
Yeah, well, people are wrong all the time. That doesn't mean that... I don't think that people, the average person who knows of Ben Shapiro, after hearing, well, the only reason that I support America is because they put Israel first, thinks that he's actually America first. Like, the woke people are not, going back to whether it's the woke right or the woke left. They don't think that they're woke. That's just what they think. They just happen to be wrong. We'll run into the fact that people vote on foreign policy more than America's interest is the most alarming thing. Well, I think that is because there's not the cultural aspects are not really in policy as much, and I think that it gets down to just the cultural landscape as opposed to having a law about the transes or the Jews or the this or that. It's more of a cultural thing, and so when we look to policy, then it's more abroad. But still, the point is looking abroad to see how that foreign policy can be pulled back so that we're not giving money where we don't need to, and we can use that money on America.
You want to run on Jeb Bush's platform? That's 1% in the polls, man. It's like, so they have to almost rely on running like us, but then, you know, like trying to, I don't know, demonize all of us or something.
It's infiltration. They have to like pretend, and then infiltrate, and then try to force like neocon, pro-military, pro-intervention, nonstop bombing of some countries so we can steal their resources and pretend that there was some moral democratic reason that we were there. And people are awake to it. So I do wonder, it seems like they're playing checkers. It's nobody's believing that you're original MAGA. I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's like, they're like, the problem are these people who actually got Trump elected when we were attacking him. Like, the problem are these people. They're so extreme. We're right back.
Are we though? Are we though? No.
I'm like, we're hamsters on a wheel, right? We are just right back to the beginning here, and we're the basket of deplorables. Okay, let's go. Like, and now it's like Trump, I guess, like I said, has joined Never Trump, or is being controlled by the Never Trump movement. It doesn't matter. Our eyes are clear on this. We know what we voted for. We know why we got behind Trump, and we know that we're not getting it. We're getting like Bitcoin stuff that he's like pushing. And
I mean, I'll take some Bitcoin, but that's not what's going on.
Which is like completely crazy. And like, by the way, also you are taking advantage of people that believe in you the most. All of it is just so wrong, and it's so icky. We're aware of the deals that Jared is doing while you call us funded by Qatar.
And yet, those who are not 4 years old and think more broadly than a 4-year-old would understand that, okay, this isn't what we asked for. This isn't what we were promised. But that still doesn't mean that the other one would have been better.
The deals that Jared is doing in the Middle East with Qatar and Israel, they think we're this dumb. And I'm going, wow, like, did you always think we were this dumb? Or actually, is it because you're occupied by the Never Trumpers, and the Never Trumpers have been explicit in the fact that they think that Trump people are dumb? But we're not this dumb.
I mean, something definitely changed. Something definitely changed shortly before that press conference we just watched. Something happened. I wouldn't even venture a guess as to what it was, but occupied is a good word.
Okay, the original MAGA party is not this dumb. We're aware of what you're doing. We're aware of the infiltration, and we are not going to support that.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, as Tucker said when he was on my show a few days ago, he said, you know, if you really ran on an America First message, it's going to be enormously popular, and not just with the right wing. I mean, you could carry half the left wing on that message too. Maybe not all of them, but you could carry.
Do it. Do it.
A whole lot of independents and liberals and leftists. If you just said, hey, look, here's the platform, like a separation, you know, in the same way we had like a separation of church and state or anything like that, you go, a separation of Israel and DC, a separation of Tel Aviv and DC is like a great thing to run on, that you could get tens of millions of Americans to rally around. That's just it. Our goal here is just, the platform is.
Put a one in the chat if you would support a policy of divorcing Israel from DC. Just give me a one in the chat.
We're not going to fight stupid wars. We're not going to have open borders. We're going to start spending within our means. Like how much tax revenue do we bring in every year? That's what we can spend. Okay. We can't borrow and print the money. And I will say, and this will be the last thing I say, and then I'll give you the final word. I do see, you know, like as Mom Donnie wins, and, you know, Ben Shapiro and people like that are going, when did you guys spend any time attacking Mom Donnie? You know, and it's like, hey, look, I would love in a way to argue with a communist.
Oh man, StreamYard, we need to integrate both chats. I would love for all of these to be on the chat over here. Oh man, and guys, we still need. I am so disappointed. We still need you're good, brother. You're good. We still need a collection of the emojis. Which emoji are we gonna? I mean, I use the rock on emoji. I would just say, fucking use that. This is the main channel. So what happens is that StreamYard, where you're seeing everything that's sending it out, because we're also on X and we're on Rumble. So that is all the same stream. But they have a new feature where you can do, I'll just show you. We got this is the stream that you are watching. And so, you know, when I pull myself up, do that. And when, you know, the video, and so we're talking there. But simultaneously, there's also a stream where it is just a normal thing. And so for right now, this is the only chats that are coming up on screen here. But hopefully they will soon integrate it, so we'll be able to see everything. I think I understand that. I think I understand why they don't want to integrate Rumble because of how spicy you can be. But I think there's already a thing where they tell you in StreamYard that we can't post that. So I think it would be easy enough to just have the Rumble chats come in just like these. And if it isn't TOS friendly, then isn't TOS friendly. We got ones all day. Ones all day. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Just look at it. All right. Diving back in here, guys.
Hey, look. Well, look, I would love in a way to argue with a communist who wants to be mayor of New York City. It's like the problem is that you guys made the whole argument. You've never visited Israel. And then you go, oh, you picked the argument that he was right on. That he was strongest on, was rejecting all of this shit. Oh, sorry, you won't even pledge to be a genocidal demon like us. Like, yeah, okay, well, I actually kind of like that about him. But the thing about it is that if we don't and this has always been my thing that I've been beating forever. It's like Ron Paul's whole thing was what, like, it was end the Fed and a gold standard and sound money. And why was it that the most anti-war libertarian was always talking about sound money? Because that's the whole game here. Now you let all these Democrats talk about unaffordability. Well, what is unaffordability? What is that's currency debasement. It's another way of saying this shit that the libertarian Ron Paul guys have been saying for all this time. But the reason why Ben Shapiro or Mark Levin or none of them could ever utter those words out of their mouth, even though they're supposed to be fiscal conservatives, is because you need that type of monetary policy to have a world empire, and that's the only way that you can fight all of Israel's wars is if you keep devaluing the currency, because we can't afford them. The American people aren't going to be taxed enough for it. This being the world empire is the biggest of big government programs. It's over $1 trillion a year we spend maintaining the empire. And so while Donald Trump is stuck doing all of this shit overseas, he's had to print a ton of money in this first year. And so what's happened with prices? They've just gone up even more than from the Biden years. And so anyway, the point is, like, we really are all right,
while we're doing this, I'm trying to see which chats or which emojis show up. So all of these so far, they will show up. Some of them don't. So I want to pick, so this is just the first row. If we go, where do we end up with the smiley face? So if we keep going here, there's all these, and there's a goat one. So I'm saying I'm going to keep the video playing, but I'm going to put all these in, and I'm going to pull them up and see which ones show up on the screen, and then we got to get good ones. We got to have some flavor. And see, that's the problem. That the custom emojis don't show up in StreamYard. So we got to pick the ones that actually do show up. So we'll keep going, and I like the second one here, the goat. I mean, like, goated. And then I also like the game over. And so just instead of W or L, we just use our own emojis. Community.
Even more than from the Biden years. And so anyway, the point is, like, we really are in a moment here where it's like, do you guys want the socialists to win, or do you want to keep fighting wars for Israel, or
are those the options? Are those the options? Those are not good options.
Win, or do you want to keep fighting wars for Israel? Or or you get both of those, right? Like, your choice is preserve liberty in the United States of America or fight Israel's wars.
Right. That's exactly right. And I just say to people, what you can do is you can control your own household. Like, I would never allow my sons to sign up for the military when the decisions are made in Tel Aviv of whether or not they're going to die. So all this rah-rah pro-American. No, it's not. It hasn't been pro-American in a very long time. We see that. We saw that recently. And the reality is they need America because they don't have enough bodies. They have enough corruption. They have enough evil. They don't have enough bodies. And this is why they're trying to commit you to their cause ideologically, because you are the slaves that are supposed to go over and die. When they drop bombs and say that they're spreading democracy, but they're actually in Afghanistan having people guard the poppy seeds so that they can cause the opioid crisis, right? Like, you're fighting for the Sackler family. You're not fighting because you're up against the Taliban. All of that's nonsense.
Okay, so we're seeing, sometimes we get this, but then we get this. So it looks like all the way from the top to the planet there. Saturn, eh? Yep, that shows up. And then we got a bunch that don't work, but then we got the monkey and all that stuff. All these work. And is that yeah, so that's all of the new ones. And then there's, just regular, the regular smiley face emojis. But I don't know. Pick one. Pick your favorite one of the emojis that shows up. Pick your favorite one and just put 3 of them in the chat. Just pick whichever ones you like, put 3 of them in the chat, and we'll try to, let's get this shit going.
The Sackler family. You're not fighting because you're up against the Taliban. All that's nonsense. And people are waking up to that. Another way, and this is what I say all the time on my podcast, pull your kids out of their schools. Okay, homeschool. They get so much power by being able to infiltrate their minds when they're young. That's why they're obsessed with the youth generation. Yep. And guess what? That's already winning. There's a reason why they now want to pass homeschool laws. They're trying to demonize homeschoolers. Is because COVID woke parents up to like, whoa, why do I have not even control over my kid's body? Forget the mind. I don't even have control over my child's body. And there's no upside. I mean, this is why are you sending your kids to university? For what reason? To plug them into that same monetary system where they start their lives like I did, $150,000 into debt because they thought that they had to go to college.
Shout out to Nocturnal Intern. Welcome to the party doing the damn thing. We also got the Rage page. Welcome, guys. Coming into the last minute, we are trying to figure out what is going to be the channel's good emoji, and instead of just saying W or L or whatever, some of them work through StreamYard and some of them do not. So we're trying to figure out. I want to see, when someone says something, I want to see whatever it is that we choose. I want to see that shit spammed in the chat.
$150,000 into debt because they thought that they had to go to college. This is all the Matrix. Attack it where you can in your own household, and they don't even know what to do. They're scrambling. You hear it now. They've never been more roarous in their demands for cancellation, and it's because an animal backed into a corner fights the hardest. Keep talking about Israel. Keep talking about Tel Aviv. Keep talking about Bibi Netanyahu. Keep talking about homeschooling. Keep talking about the military-industrial complex, and we will win. They are at the beginning of the end of their domination over American mind.
The beginning of the end. Shout out to the Juggalos.
Yeah, well, I think you've been one of the most effective people, if not.
There are normal emojis. Just scroll down. There's all the regular ones. They're all there, and most of them show up on here. Where is it? Yeah, so those all show up. So just pick one. I don't care. I'm just trying to have like an inside joke with y'all. I'm trying. All right? I'm trying.
Not the most one in that cause and fighting it. So thank you for everything you've been doing. Keep doing it. I know I don't need to tell you that because I know you're not going to stop either way. But thank you so much for taking the time and coming on, and I hope we get to talk again real soon.
Oh my goodness. Candace Owens doing the damn thing. Yeah, I'm down with the fire. I mean, I don't care. I just want to have something that's our own. That's just us. And we know when the new people come in, they're like, oh, everybody's just spamming the same emoji. I want to know what that is. I want to be part of this community. Remember before someone was like, oh, let you do such a good job. Yeah, part of this is that. Part of this is that. So, and the horizontal people are doing it. Where's all the vertical people with their goddamn emojis? It doesn't. So we will give it meaning. So you pick whichever 2 emojis you like. So for example, Mike picked the pumpkin and the robot, and so maybe the pumpkin is a good thing. So when somebody says something base or whatever, you spam some pumpkins, and then if somebody's acting like a bot, then that's what I'm trying to do here. You go to other things. They've got all these inside jokes about this emoji and what that means and all that stuff. Let's be that. Let's be that. Guys, you are amazing. You are amazing. Look at all of this. Starting off hard with the $10. Arrow and Unwanted Foe coming in. Then again with another $10. And then, I'm going to save that one for last. We had Unwanted Foe again for the refill. Again for the refill. We had our boy Funk Master General with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. We had Real Rain. A pleasure to meet you. And guys, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So, YouTube sucks with those notifications. So don't just subscribe. Ring the bell so you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. And, of course, the sponsored super chat of this stream, the big $100. Let's just give Morty an extra treat just for going hard. Just for going hard. There we go, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, exactly. So now, then we, when it's like, so we have the whistle for projection, and so if somebody is projecting in the video that we're watching, and somebody spams this thing, and that becomes our projection thing, they're projection. It's just fun. And so when new people come in, they're like, "Oh, there's so much going on here. I gotta stick around and figure out what the fuck is going on." I do need a haircut. It's too frizzy, but not like cut it off. I just need maybe that much. Just get rid of the frizz. Dips are for pussies. Do dips like a G. I feel like those are the opposite. HR Death Poet said, "Come to Red Evening if you have nothing better to do." Well, we do have to head to the after party. Again, 10 of you got memberships for that, so make sure you click the pinned link. I think it's pinned on both, right? Well, if you're on horizontal, click the pinned link, and then come on over and hit that there. Oh, my goodness. Again! Of course, a treat for Morty and a refill. Refill. Hey, thank you. Gotta get those last minute push-ups. Oh my goodness. Time for push-ups indeed. Oh my god. So let's get a final count here. So we are at 478. 478 of the Morty Memorial Fund, guys. We have 10 different super chats and a total of $182. My goodness. I don't believe you. Pussy key? Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. Get it going. Whoever starts just doing it, everybody else will follow. Just start it. Speaking of starting it, it is time for these push-ups. Oh my god. So 182. That's what? 92 push-ups? 91 push-ups. 91 push-ups. This is gonna fucking suck. I am promising you right now, I cannot do 90 push-ups in a row. I will need to take breaks. And I might only get 3 or 4 at a time by the time we get up there. But you paid for it, so it indeed is a push-up time. Guys, you paid me. Now pay yourself. You can't do 90, do 50. If you can't do 50, do 20. If you can't do 20, do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5. If you can't do 5, then, do some girl push-ups. Oh! 92. Oh my god. Once I start, that's it. Thank you so very, very much. Let me add that here. Shout out to, what is good with the jewels? It says Raid Page sent happy poop for 10 jewels. I don't know exactly what that means, but I very, very, very much appreciate you sending anything. Let's see. We are now at 480. 480. That was 11 and 184, which indeed is 92 push-ups. I'm not gonna hurl. Where we go? I'm not gonna hurl. I'm just not gonna have a good time doing these push-ups. Shout out to Abusin. Am I saying that right? Welcome to the party. Said new here. Israel or Palestine? Neither. America. That's my answer. I don't give a fuck. America first. Yep, you came back just in time. And exactly. Welcome. If you are new here, hey, dilly to you. The trick question that came in clutch. So if you are just joining us, we did in fact hit our super chat goal, and every $2 is another push-up. Look how puny I am. I need your guys' help. So every $2 is another push-up. We've got $184. I'm not looking forward to it, but here we go. Here we fucking go. Here we go. All right, and then 5, 4, 3. That's not how you count. 2, 1, and done. That is locked in. Let's see how it goes. All right. 92 push-ups. I am not looking for it. I need some smoke. All right. 92. on. We got this. If it takes us 4 tries, we got this. We got this. I know, bitch. Don't give up. Shit. Is going to come through! Much does what he promises. There we go, there we go. Woo! Those last 5, man. It's probably closer to 97. Thank you very much. Get the fuck out of here. The fucking the disrespect. The disrespect! What is going on? What is going on? That was me overdoing it. That was me overdoing it. Yep. So again, say, hey, restore my faith in Indian people. Ah! Too out of American, though. Too out of American. I don't shower in feces. So, I'm American. And then, again, see, we got a bunch of awesome emojis, but they're not showing up. So we got the trophy. The trophy shows up. Holy shit. Well, you now have upped the total. 92. There we go. 92 is the number to beat. 92 push-ups. I don't think before we started doing this, the Swoggle, I would bet that I hadn't done, let's just say 90 push-ups in the last 10 years of my life. Oh yeah, I gotta drink some water. Yeah, he does that. He does that. But yeah, guys, thank you so very, very much for hanging out. If make sure in the here, I'll put it in both chats so that everybody's got the link. Everybody's got the link. So on the landscape stream, I just dropped the link to the Discord server, pinned it to the top of the chat. It is free to join. It is free to join, but there's a bunch of other member stuff that is for members only, including the after party where we are about to go hang out. So if you join before the stream is over, or if you got a gifted membership, come and join us for free, and you will be able to come to the after party with us. If you are not a member, still come and join, because all you need to do is hang out, talk to people, get some XP, and which just talking to people, and you get leveled up. You get to level 15, and I will give you all the privileges, because I don't care about the money like that. I want to build this community. So come on the roof. Let's give a big, big shout out once again to all of these amazing donations. You guys have been so fucking generous tonight. my goodness. 93. Thank you very, very much. And really, we are almost at $500 at the Morty Fund, and that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, and you know it's gonna mean a lot to him. So, whew! All right, guys, it is time for the after party. I am very excited to see you guys over there once again. Once again. Oh, who do we got? Who just joined? Who just joined? Rage Page. So just like that, 1, 2, 3 clicks. Now he's got access to the after party. I see Section 230 is already in there hanging out. Make sure you guys are in there, because if nobody's in there, I'm going the fuck to sleep. But I would much rather hang out with you guys. Thank you again. Once again, guys. This is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here.